Welcome to another exciting episode of Codex Legendarium. Look at that, 2 weeks in a row. We are very happy to see you, and we will today be finally getting into Titan's Grave, which I'm very, very excited about. I've been excited for quite some time. We will absolutely be starting off again with the newsletter that we ended with last week, because I just want to read it again. And to make sure that Justin can hear it, because he wasn't here last time. He got to read it, but he didn't get to see it. So, before we get to that, any announcements from Justin?
Yep. We did have a Linktree, but I'm switching from Linktree because they support NFTs. And so does Card. So I'm in the process of looking for another one to handle that kind of stuff. More on that later. We also have a Tiltify link, which I put in the VODs for now. We raise money for Color of Change.
Anniversary stream?
Don't know if I'm doing that yet.
Oh, fair.
Anyone else?
Anything else anyone wants to plug or mention?
I have an Etsy shop called The Cozy Corvidier, and I'm working on how I'm promoting it.
Fair enough. All right. Then shall we begin? So, where we last left off, the party was on their way to Titan's Grave because Monty was like, I would like to deal with my backstory stuff. And the party was just like, yeah, okay. Especially because like Monty's backstory stuff was the reason that he wanted to stay fairly low profile in his activities, and he was beginning to discover that that low profile was not happening. So the party was like, yeah, dude, we'll help you out. We'll go and like kill your guy here, and then you don't have to worry about being low profile anymore, and we can go be big damn heroes. So, or I assume that's, I don't know, I did not I don't know if I represented that rationale exactly, but close enough. On your way, you stopped in to the nation of Aldereth after a rat-based aerial attack with a wyvern that resulted in you having to go get supplies. You stopped in, you learned a couple things. One, that Aor is invading Aldereth, and they apparently invade quite a few people. It's apparently their most common way of gaining territory is conquering their neighbors, which they've been doing for quite some time, which no one was really aware of, especially Galina and Viktoria. So Galina actually decided to depart and leave the group to go hop a ship back to Aor to just kind of like find out what's going on there and do some politics and just like take care of home stuff, because it's been a while since the twins were back home. Also because I keep getting chat. Players are talking in the Zoom chat and it keeps popping up and distracting me. Where was I? Oh yeah, also because Flo has to take a brief leave of absence for a bit, or leave of absence for a bit. I don't know how brief. But as the party sailed into Titan's Grave. Oh, sorry, one more thing I forgot that was learned was gone over just how regular people learn magic. And just to summarize, it was shown that your average university student who has spent a couple years learning is capable of casting a cantrip in the equivalent of 5 rounds of concentration. Full professors, people who teach magic, are capable of, on average, first level spells probably once per day. Then you've got like experts at the university, like heads of the department, 1 second level spell, and then world renowned scholars who have not created spells, but like discovered spells that no one else can do, and like have wings of the university named after them, and like are legendary for years, are capable of casting 1 third level spell per day, which means that the party has currently reached the upper limit of the rest of the world's, the general population's magical limits, and they're level 5. And not only that, like 1 third level spell a day. So the party is already capable of casting like what, at least 2, I think, for some of you. So yeah, that is you're well beyond masters of the arcane in the world. So that is where you're at. Bennett's gonna hop in here. Justin, whenever you have a second, Bennett's gonna be hopping in and messing up the windows. So
Okay, I just realized that I can cast 3rd level spells. I
Yeah.
just realized that.
Justin already did the windows. It's all good.
Oh, okay. Well, Bennett just stopped in. Hello, welcome.
Oh. Hello, Bennett.
No.
Perfect timing. We were just on the recap and highlighting the fact that 3rd level spells seem to be the absolute limit for what a normal person is capable of doing with magic, which is frightening to say the least when you realize that everyone that can cast spells and hasn't multi-classed is capable of casting 3rd level spells. So the twins and Tedros. But then they all ran into as they made their way into Titan's Grave waters, they encountered a ship that was carrying newsletters. And since Justin wasn't here last time to hear it, I don't know if he watched the VOD. And also, just for those of you who weren't here necessarily at the end of last episode and haven't heard this is where we begin as the party is coming into Titan's Grave and reading, perhaps rereading, this newsletter, which goes as follows. If you need this newsletter to tell you what the talk of the town is this season, dear reader, then this author questions whether you might be living under a rock. It is, of course, Lord and Captain Dieter von Stark and his recent announcement that he is seeking betrothal. This news, of course, arrived along with the announcement of an extended shore leave for the full crew of the Orchid as Lord von Stark searches for his new partner. The most shocking turn of events, though, was the announcement from the Court of Salt that the Orchid would be docked at Clawborn Manor for the duration of Lord von Stark's courtship, no doubt as a reminder to all that attend his parties of the noble status of the von Stark name that was granted to the Lord after he was made captain. And speaking of parties, Lord von Stark has announced a season's worth of them at his manor to entertain the nobility of Titan's Grave so that he can peruse and court the eligible partners the Isles have to offer. Chefs and decorators have been sailed out to Clawborn Manor like a miniature army, and performers from far and wide have been brought in to keep the guests entertained as we watch the greatest show unfold, the first courtship and hopefully marriage of the von Stark lineage. Truly, the island of Clawborn Manor is the place to be this season. Of course, my dear reader, I have one more morsel for you, because who would I be without a juicy bit of gossip to leave you with before I end this installment of my newsletter? I have it on good authority that Lord von Stark has made several visits to Mumbleton Manor in recent months, and more than often, covertly. So it does beg the question, to this author at least, whether this season of courtship spells trouble in some hidden paradise, or whether the newest member of the von Stark household will need to tolerate sharing their new husband with another. As always, dear reader, I do my best to keep you all informed and appraised of the goings-on of the Isles. Until next time, yours, Lord Highbellow. And as the ship is sailing, what was that? Which dude? So as you're all sailing on the ship, heading towards, I believe, Titan's Grave city itself, you're all gathered around and reading that, and presumably everyone read it up on the top deck, and then maybe someone brought it down to Monty so that he would be able to read what's been going on, so he can react to this for the first time.
Yeah, Princess would have gone downstairs and dramatically read it outside of Monty's door.
Walk out. Can I see that?
Hands him a copy.
Oh, interesting. Rip.
Just thought you should know.
Great. I'll use this for toilet paper later.
All right. How are you doing?
Not great with that news.
Do you want to elaborate? What about it is bothering you?
It's gonna be more difficult to do what I wanted to do now.
I imagine. He has a lot of eyes on him. But this is an opportunity to figure out what he's been doing before, doing what you wanted to do.
Yep.
Because, if you finish him, so much traffic outside my room right now. I'm so sorry, I don't know if you can hear that, but if he dies, then whatever he's been putting into motion will still continue being in motion.
Right. Yeah. True. I really want to kill him, though.
We will get to that part.
Ugh. Bunch of bullshit.
Patience, we have you.
Yep.
All right.
Deep
Well,
inhale, deep exhale.
yeah. Keep on doing that. You're going to need to do that a lot throughout this because we're going to have to put on our fancy clothes
I'm
and
not going to be able
fancy
to
thinking hats.
blend in that well.
I know. We're going to have to find something to do with you.
Yeah. I could just burn it all down.
That is also an option. But I don't know if you have that same venom for your fellow countrymen.
I don't. Not
I
at
do
all.
not think so.
Just for him. And maybe... Yeah, just for him. And maybe anyone else who's in league with him that knows what he did. I assume the pirates that he's part of are here too. Kind of wriggling their way into things.
Oh, that might be his crew. You just transported them into the Orchid.
Yeah. And here's the thing. All members of that pirate gang have a brand on their forearm. Or was it their forearm or their pecs? They got
You said chest.
Okay, they got a brand on their chest. They all get it when they join the pirate crew. So, I guess keep
Well,
an
that makes
eye.
it easy.
Keep an eye on people's chests. Not in a
I'm pretty sure
weird,
it'll be
creepy way,
covered.
but I mean, it's a way to find
I
it.
know what you meant. I can get someone out of shirt pretty easily. It's fine. But Princess
Interesting.
will get her book and ask Monty to kind of either describe it
Oh yeah,
or
I will describe
draw
the
the image.
brand. It's in my
Okay.
notes somewhere, I think, or I sent it to Sam a long time ago.
I can look that up for you really quick. Race you to see who finds it first.
Yep.
I'll wait patiently.
It's a brand of someone hanging dong. Nope.
It looks like an anchor flaying flesh.
Thank you.
Say that 5 times fast.
Anchor flaying flesh. Anchor flaying flesh. Anchor flaying flesh.
Oh, okay. That I don't think I'll miss that.
Yeah, they're
It's
called
very
they're called the
distinctive.
Scarlet Skin Carvers. They're kind of known for
Scarlet Skin Carvers.
flaying their victims and kind of
Did you
hanging
do that
and
to
hanging.
you though?
I fell overboard, and they thought I drowned, is what I'm assuming. Which is weird, because then there was wanted posters up of me. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that they would they flay their victims and tend to mount them on the masts, so to speak, to kind of cook in the sun.
Perhaps I am a bit of a romantic. Perhaps he lets you get away.
I don't like that.
I'm just throwing out possibilities here, just so we have ideas before we go in.
Great. Yep. Fine. Phew, everything's great. Everything's good.
Well, I'll leave you with your toilet paper if you need to go
Oh,
take a
right.
shit.
That's right. I do have to go do that.
But this will.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a shit and wipe my ass with this letter. That's the plan.
Okay, Monty goes to use the ship latrine.
Roll for paper cuts.
No,
Oh God.
it's very high quality, very soft paper. It's actually it
good.
works perfectly. These are the newsletters that the nobility read about each other. So they're not going to print that
Great.
on some cheap, flimsy stuff that would give you paper cuts.
Can't see the words now.
Yeah. All right. So you said you were heading for Titan's Grave City itself?
Proper, yeah.
Okay. Then anything anybody wants to do before you start reaching civilization? 'Cause you're going to be getting close soon.
Wish I had disguise self.
Anyone proficient in a disguise kit?
Oh, it's fine. I want to be me.
All right.
Like, what if he gets caught? Oh, wait.
Something happens.
While you were not here, we definitely talked about plans for just smothering you in a bunch of Yule's cloaks. And then you're good.
Like,
Won't stand out at all.
Realistically, we just gotta cover the face.
I mean, he didn't have the white beard and hair when he was last here. That happened when he got cursed.
Because how many years has it been since you were last here?
And also, I'm heavily
party?
scarred now for being attacked by a werewolf.
Yep.
I was last here when I was 25, 27, and I'm now 30, like 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. So it's been a while.
I also have an eye patch now.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. But Princess will offer. Princess has been working on her hat to make it smaller.
Okay.
So Princess, like, she would offer the hat to Montblanc. It's still very good for, like, put your head down. People can't see it if you would like.
I'm alright.
All right. But if you get arrested and we have to break you out, you owe me money, or something, because.
Oh, this coat's not going to be a good idea though, because this is Titan's Grave Navy coat.
Yes, that sounds like a terrible idea, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah. But I also don't want to lose it because it's my captain's. I'm gonna put it safely under my bed.
Okay. You like bundle it up in something so it's not just like stuff under there by
Yes.
itself. Okay.
What the hell do I wear under this thing? Just going around shirtless?
I assume Monty wears a shirt under his coat.
Nah.
I mean, if he wants to go around shirtless, I'm not gonna stop him. Like, I'm not gonna be the one to tell him no.
What's the weather like? Like, what's like the climate?
It's
Oh, where are you going?
It's,
That's
it's,
right,
It's
that's right.
tropical here.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you're in the tropics.
You could walk around the shirt.
You could.
20
We're
strength.
no longer in the Arctic.
No, oh, yeah,
we're
so-
in- yeah.
I kind of mentioned this over the sessions that like everyone was piecemeal here and not here. So yes, just to describe your journey, you've been traveling for a while, from like the very, very, very south up to like you're approaching the like
Fuck.
the sea that Titan's Grave is in is about the equator. Flying really sped things along.
I very much influenced it when I was designing it off of like in terms of the city, it's very much influenced off of
Venice, you said?
Venice.
Yeah. So we're at like Mediterranean climate
Yeah.
is where we're at for that. So like
I also just realized my coat has my leather stitched into it, and that's my armor.
So we need to get a new set of letter armor when you arrive.
Nah,
if you
fuck
don't wanna wear
that.
the
I'm
coat?
gonna walk around and just. I got like a basic white cotton shirt underneath.
Mhm.
Gonna shred that off too.
Just go shirtless.
Yeah, why not? It's the tropics.
All right.
Let's go.
Buff green Monty.
Blend
walk
in with
around
the
shirtless.
fishermen and sailors.
All right.
I got 20 strength with muscles. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So, does the beard and the hair really obscure enough?
I mean,
No.
You'll find out.
Okay.
I'm also
Cool.
heavily scarred the last time I was
Yeah,
here.
I will say Monty is pretty confident, like, especially because, like, of the. Well, you'll see.
I'm confident.
Okay. If Monty is confident that he doesn't look like he used to look, I believe Monty.
I will say that it will take. There is a short list of people who, given enough time, like given a good close look at him for more than like a second, would be able to identify him. And it's like
with our
people
luck,
you
they're just gonna be on the shore.
Well, that's fine. This is
like
this is how I'm doing it.
Dieter's probably one of them. Your mother is one of them.
Of course.
Pretty much anyone who was on the crew of the Orchid with you. But aside from that,
well,
like
everyone that was on the crew with me got killed, aside from like the handful that were mutineers.
Yes, except so the mutineers would be the only ones. Yeah.
Who I will also recognize. So, welcome.
Yeah. So, because again, you're working off of wanted posters, but wanted posters are not the most like you would remember like looking at those wanted posters. They're not the most accurate depiction of you, and like they kind of just defaulted to just like. And
it would have been me without an eye patch.
Yeah, like no eye patch, no scars,
me
no
without
beard.
the current facial hair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a drawing.
Yeah, and it's a drawing. So yeah, like.
I also had an intact left ear, and fingers.
Yeah, you're like you've been real messed up since then. So yeah, like Monty's current just like face as Monty is a pretty good disguise by itself.
Yep, I'm fucked up.
So if you ever come up to and encounter a picture of, or if a painting of Monty, of which they several exist, you'll be able to see the difference. But yeah,
you know what?
Okay.
I will wear the white shirt.
Okay.
Unbutton it a little.
Just a billowy white Pirates of the Caribbean shirt.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
And like the breeches that he wears and his big pirate boots.
Yep. Look like a Fabio romance novel cover.
Yeah.
But green.
Yeah. Just
nice.
Little spritz bottle.
Always glistening. Always glistening.
Yeah, it's hot here.
Yeah. Okay. Then anything else anyone wants to do while you're still traveling before you arrive?
But I can only describe as lizard time, and just
laying in the sun on the deck of the ship.
Lots of seagulls.
Finally, I am in a place where it makes sense to wear what Viktoria is wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe Yul is about to be cloakless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been fun for Yule. Like as you've been sailing basically for the last few days, it's just been like a gradual process of shedding cloaks as like it gradually gets warmer, so you just need less and less cloaks until like you're down to the last cloak, and you're like, I don't think I need this anymore.
There's no way I can walk around with this anchor flail either.
It's a little big and cumbersome and noticeable.
I was gonna make it I was gonna go pack to the blade eventually and do that, but we're gonna leave that on the ship too.
Okay, you could probably because it's not a full-size ship's anchor, if I remember correctly.
No, it
it's
is.
Like a small. Is it? Well, those are like as tall as you are, so.
Well, it's big.
Right. It's
regardless.
Big, like,
I'm gonna leave it on the ship.
Okay, I was gonna say you could like put it into a bag or something and like stuff the chain.
I got ways to kill people if I have to.
Fair enough. Okay, so Monty, no cloak and no cloak and no chain for the first time. You've never seen him like outside of bathing. I don't think you've ever seen Monty missing those two things.
And he's really upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they belong to his captain, so he's not too keen on leaving them behind. Rat. Welcome.
All right, so then if no one else wants to do anything before we arrive,
I mean, Yule would definitely like emerge from in her quarters and be like very cloakless for the first time. I mean, she's always been wearing like some form of a cloak besides like the fancy parties, but she has like just the acrobatics gear on and like a very like short like cape type thing. And she would come out and have some lizard time with Viktoria.
Nice.
Lizard time.
Speaking of, you have updated art to check out that I sent you.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I will check it out.
Speaking of updated art, Tedros looks cool as fuck.
Yes.
Y'all bitches need to be sharing this in the group chat. I'm so lost.
I'm gonna be
Mine's still
oh
whip.
man, I'm gonna be working. There's no sales to work. Never mind.
No, yeah, there are. There's
I'm
sails.
gonna be
Remember,
working the
you installed
sails
them.
in my Will Turner outfit.
All right. All right. And oh yeah.
Well, so if your coat is also leather armor, Tedros will point out that, hey, you know, like, you don't have to be unarmored. I do have my old suit, and you can probably get it adjusted to fit you.
You see these pecs? They're armor enough. But no, I'll take you up on that.
Yeah.
Does like the pecs flex just
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can.
Monty's
remove
really
that.
feeling himself today.
Mhm.
he's trying to compensate for all the anxiety he's feeling right now.
Mask his anxiety, mask his nerves with confidence.
Yep.
Fake it till you make it.
Or until I die.
Mm-hmm.
That's one definition of making it.
Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we don't do the dying part.
And you gotta do it sometime. But anyway.
Essentially.
I got 12 AC. I'm good.
We don't have to do it sometime here, though.
I'll be harder to hit if I wolf out anyway. So.
All right. Are we ready to pull into the city?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah.
You all, you can see that as you're sailing along, to your left, off to the west, there's a full-on archipelago of islands that Monty would be able to tell for all of you is known as the Headstone Archipelago. The reason being is that the island that Titan's Grave City is on, if you look at it from above, or you look at it on most maps of the nation, is shaped more or less like basically a massive Titan-sized body laying down in the water with its arms splayed out, and the archipelago extends out from just past the head. The city itself is found on the island, and particularly the city center is focused on the head. And as you all start coming in, here's a map of the city that I'm very proud of, that I'm going to put in Discord. And you're all coming in from the south, so basically there is a kind of long chain of islands off to the west, or like closer to the city, a small chain, a chain of like smaller islands just off the coast, covered in buildings. You can see that these are all things like warehouses and things like that. You can see a bunch of cargo ships lining the docks along that left side. Coming in, there's a very, very large fort that's just on its own independent, like on its own island, basically right in the mouth of this bay that you're coming into. That would be called, that Monty would know is Fort Keystone, the primary fort of the Titan's Grave Navy, which has a variety of ships surrounding it, several of which Monty would probably be able to identify just from his memory of the navy of Titan's Grave itself. Probably you'd see the Poppy, the Carnation, the Dahlia, the Iris, the Lily. No sign of the Rose, the Tulip, the Violet, or the Orchid. And those are all you have to like sail past the fort to get in. And Monty would also know that Fort Keystone is home to enough catapults and powerful enough catapults and trebuchets that they are capable of striking basically anywhere in the entire bay entering into the city with siege engines from within the walls of the fort, allowing them to pretty much repel any naval assault that is attempted on the island or on the coast of Titan's Grave. And then as you come in, there is the full kind of curve of the bay leads into the downtown area, which is where the majority of like passenger vessels and other passenger vessels and other like anything bringing in people. The chain of islands to the west, just off the coast, is would Monty be able to tell you sort of like the shipping district where just like cargo ships come in and bring in cargo, and then things are brought to and from the city from across the water. Whereas downtown is where more like people come and go and like are transported to. And all throughout this bay, all throughout this entire waterway area here enclosed and around the city are so many boats of all shapes and sizes. There's full-size, 3-masted galleon-sized ships that are sailing in and bringing people and goods, some of which are with the Navy, all the way down to like little individual like rowboats and say like one person, like one mast sailboats, as well as you can see like ferries that just transport people back and forth between the different sections of the city. And then as you pull up to the coast, you can see that while there are streets, the majority of the city is broken up by a vast network of canals that connect everything, with bridges connecting the different sections. And there are small, narrow boats with a person standing up at the back, pushing them along with a stick, basically gondolas that people are using to move people and goods up and down through the different districts. To the southwest, as you're coming in, you would also see a bit of more of a rundown looking section of town that Monty, you probably don't have as much experience going to. It's all the buildings there are made of just wood, a lot less, like, you don't see a lot of paint, you don't see a lot of stonework. It's pretty much just like quickly slapped together wood structures, whereas the downtown area is a lot more like stonework and plaster and things like that look a little bit more permanent. And as you're all coming into the city, Cadence is up on the deck of the ship, having spent most of the voyage below decks, and he is looking somewhat wistfully off towards that other section of town that, Monty, you don't have as much experience with, but you would know is known as Dwindale, which is the less economically prosperous side of town. And you would know that just north of Dwindale is Eastbridge, which is where you grew up.
Right.
So do you come in and make for port in downtown?
Yep.
All right. So you can come into downtown. You can find a dock to pull into. Titan's Grave has so much of Titan's Grave's trade and travel and just commerce and everything depends on the sea, basically, since it is an island and it's so maritime based, that Monty would know that there is no cost or really registration for docking, just because they want to get people in and out and moving as fast as possible. And they found that charging people and keeping track of that stuff actually just slows things down and loses them money in other places. So they're just like, get in, park, do what you need to, get out. Like, it's just faster that way. So for the most part, you can just pull in and weigh anchor wherever you like, and set down
Excellent.
which I assume you have an anchor. Yeah, you got an anchor.
Yeah. All right, welcome
there you go.
everyone. Don't get sunburnt. I don't know.
Yule's just like peering through her eyelashes and like very confused. She's never been somewhere this like warm and beachy.
I also don't recommend walking around outside with food.
Right?
Point to the seagulls.
What are those?
They're called seagulls. They tend to swoop down and snatch food while you're eating it. Watch.
What if we got one as a pet?
Don't recommend it.
No.
I want a pet seagull.
Awful. No, they're awful. I'm gonna pull like a dried piece of meat from my rations and hold it up in the air.
Just immediately just snatches it out of your hand. Like, you don't even get to like the full
horrific.
apex of a holding. Like, you get to like here by the time you've finished writing your arm, it's gone.
They're horrific.
We
You'll-
could get one and train it to attack people.
Yule immediately just runs into the pack of seagulls to like see what they do.
It'll just like take off and like fly away
my
into
gosh!
the cloud.
Right.
That's so cool.
Yulia, So Yulyanya, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh gosh.
Into the water.
Amazing.
Please fail.
Oh no, please don't wish
Why do I
me
hear the
failure.
007 theme song?
Where's my dexterity again?
Pretty good.
+2.
Pretty good.
Weird.
Oh, wait, sorry. So if I got an 11, I just add the +2, right?
If it's dexterity saving throw, you look under saving throws to the left. And I think monks are proficient.
Oh, save. Oh, saving throws. Okay. Dex is +5. Okay, so 16.
Okay. As the flock of seagulls takes off and takes to the air around you, and you're running through them, you can just see like a white rain dropping down around you, and you just like duck and dodge and twirl and spin out of the way and avoid getting just shit on by a bunch of seagulls who took off.
Yeah, that's
God,
and
she just winds up like trying to just jump and glide away.
yep, they just run back. And then just the you can see also now that just like the docks are covered in dried seagull shit.
I don't know what that was, but I didn't like it.
That's why they're awful.
Yeah.
Plus
Well,
they steal
maybe
your
we
food.
can get a pet for the ship that is not a seagull.
We can get a pet for the ship?
I imagine there's people here that sell like tropical birds, but like that's probably about it.
Yes, that's possibly.
But also,
amenable,
tropical
but
birds don't fare too well in not non-tropical weather.
What
You'll
this is
just
like a
goes up.
cat.
You'll just goes up and tugs on Victoria's like sleeve.
Yes.
You can have a pet crab.
So we asked for a pet seagull and they don't like seagulls, and now we get a pet? Do we
That is-
just ask for things they don't like and then they give us other things that we do
Can I
like?
shoot one of these seagulls with my crossbow?
Yes, it is called negotiation.
Oh, wait, I don't have it
we are
anymore.
expert negotiators. We start with something that we know they're gonna say no to, and then we come in with something little less unreasonable.
Pet cats! I've
Is
never
that
been
cat?
able to have an animal besides the farm animals.
I don't know if a cat would get well on this ship.
But the cat would eat the mice. It has a
Indeed.
job.
I just wonder how it would if it would be able to smell certain things on a few members of our group.
Oh yes.
Smell
This is
what?
true.
Well,
Do
they're
you all?
wolves.
Yeah. I mean, do you all like have problems with that when you're like walking around?
I don't know. I don't really hang out with cats.
That's fair.
I don't think I. Can I like see if like animals don't like me? It was my memory.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too, like cats or anything.
Give me a like.
Roll, like
I do this too.
animal
I'm gonna do
handling
this.
check.
Give me a like retroactive perception check for both of you to see
Oh,
like
sick.
just if you've passively noticed this.
8.
Okay.
That is that's 26.
Okay. Oh wait, actually, now that I think about it, I was an 8 normally wouldn't notice anything, Monty, but you were trained with all of this and got like essentially a manual on how to be a werewolf.
They held a cat in front of me and it was just like,
Wait, what?
what?
No, I was
What?
like, through your training, like this would have been covered, just like.
All right.
And so the funny thing is, so you would have basically you're like, I don't really know, but then you kind of remember like, yeah, they told you just like, yeah, because of the unnatural power of blood that we
Great.
employ, animals tend to not really like us. Princess, on the other hand, is like, actually, I can come to think of it, I feel like animals have been more friendly to me since I got bit. So I don't know, maybe so like you kind of have like two conflicting.
Yeah, animals tend to hate me for some reason. It's because of the blood stuff that went on with me.
Ooh, it's like okay, because like I kind of just went like all natural, and then like you did that thing like helps you do the thing.
Right.
Right.
Is Princess crunchy? Is that what we're discovering? Is
What does
Princess
that
crunchy
mean?
vegan? Have you not heard like the crunchy mom vibes?
Oh my gosh.
Just
All
all natural,
natural.
no
Well, I'm,
chemicals.
Homeopathic.
Well,
Yeah, we're
Bennett.
walking.
I'm getting on the ship.
granola mall.
I was gonna shoot one of the seagulls. Oh wait,
Thought we were off the ship already.
I don't have any
I
crossbows.
thought we were on the dock.
I just ran into a
you
flock of
kinda, like,
seagulls.
in the Yule just like sprinted off the ship and went and ran into a flock of seagulls, but I think everyone else was kind of in the process of getting off the boat.
First off, I'm gonna scour the dock for wanted posters of myself.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Do I have advantage because I'm looking for posters of myself?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. 23.
Okay. You can spot wanted posters like on walls and everything, but just kind of like squinting your one good eye still at them, and looking, you don't see yourself represented among the wanted posters.
Anyone I do recognize, just for shits and giggles?
No one specifically that you've like met.
My mom's not on here.
No, your mom. You don't see your
Okay,
mom or anything on there. No one you're like friendly with. You would see like
What about Victoria?
What?
Victoria?
No.
No.
I would be surprised if I was here.
You see the like standing bounties and like wanted posters for people like career criminals who have been like
don't give a shit about
like
that.
regular pirates that have been wanted forever.
Whatever.
Like general thing about Scarlet skin carvers, but like
Ooh. Never mind.
Okay.
Wrong town. I'm thinking of the other one.
So yeah. Other than that, you do not see a wanted poster of yourself. It has perhaps been since it's been like somewhere in the 3 to 5 year range. They may just
I think I'm dead.
have given up. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Question. Are there any other signs as we're walking by? Any quick ways to make money? Because Tedros realized we could probably use some funds to pay for like new outfits and things that we're clearly going to need.
You could work on ships. That's what most people do.
Work on
Yeah.
ships? What do they do on ships?
I point to like people. I assume people are like hauling crates off on and off.
Oh
ships
yeah,
and,
yeah. People are working
Physical
all
labor.
up and down these docks. Yeah, physical labor like hauling crates,
Fishing.
like, operating cranes and things. There's fishing boats coming and going. People
Now, if I
selling fish
recall,
on this.
on slow days, some of the sailors and fishermen would go to taverns and gamble in a game called Liar's Dice.
Very popular.
I don't think we have the funds to risk
Oh,
gambling.
I got no fucking money, but
I'm more of an entertainer. I'm sure I could find
Yeah.
something.
Yes, that's what I was. Well, how is entertainment in this city? In these places that gamble, I feel like people might want to maybe.
let me see if I have that written in my notes. I'm sure the drunk people at the taverns would like to. I don't know. I never really kind of dealt with that kind of stuff. I kind of would just like sit in my room, look outside, go sailing, fishing, other things.
You're consistent.
Yeah.
You're consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if any of you are like super religious or anything, but we don't really do that here.
Like it's a bad thing.
No, it's just no one really gives a shit about that kind of stuff here. So there's no like temples
Got
or anything, but there's like
We
small...
didn't have it in the valley either.
Great.
Yeah.
But there's like small shrines that aren't really dedicated to anything for people just to kind of like leave stuff, but no temples or churches here.
Fair enough.
A world I can understand.
What else should I tell y'all? If you like riding gondolas, they're kind of fun.
What's a gondola?
I point to the boats that are like going through the canals.
Yeah, you can see these long, shallow boats with like a person standing up at the back and like pushing them along with
Are
a
you
long
them, like,
pole,
singing?
and then like, no,
Aww.
not like this close to the docks. You
Oh,
probably
right,
have
that
to,
makes sense.
There's more touristy areas where like you could go and probably find a singing gondolier, but not like right where like the ones you're seeing are like moving people like to and from work and like hauling like you would know that it'd be like one of these is probably like someone that works at a bakery coming and getting like today's shipment of flour to like take it down the street to the bakery. Like these are just cars basically here.
Wait,
wagons.
we could become a cargo vessel.
I recommend knowing how to control sea-based vessels to do that.
I mean, you know how to control our vessel.
Yeah.
If we wanted to get money, then we could ask people if they need things delivered, and we could deliver things.
I suppose.
Well, you all can do that.
Cadence will
Right.
speak up at that and say, you can, but you're probably like, people tend to have their people that they trust already, and usually if you're an out of town person, you're probably going to be like needing to leave the country and take stuffs very far away.
Yeah.
It's not really much in the way, like, especially at the size of ship you've got, that's not really going to be a local job.
Yeah.
Like
Question.
I said, yeah.
Sorry, this is a question for Sam. When did like the Lord High Bellow, that paper, like when did it say like all that was like?
Yeah, that's what
Kick
I
it
want to
off.
know as well.
Oh, it's in progress already. Like it
It's in
started.
progress.
It started like it's a whole season-long event.
Okay,
Oh, I
all right,
fucking
we missed
hate
the beginning
that.
of the
Oh, I
season.
hate-
Okay,
Romance, courtship.
No,
Let's go.
You can't miss the
Okay.
first night.
I can fucking miss it if I want to.
How
I've
else
seen-
is
I've
he
seen enough
supposed to
on
get close?
I've seen enough on how this Dieter fellow courts people.
Yeah, if a very
it,
public
it
courting.
worked the first time, did it not?
It did, and then he fucking left me to die. So
Okay,
Yes,
but
that-
consider
that
this
part.
aspect. Consider this aspect. A public courtship means he is courting for power. So he is looking for a powerful person to have by his side. What are we? Powerful people.
I wouldn't say powerful people.
Well,
I'll try not to be
no
insulted by that.
matter no matter who he's looking for, we could be what he's looking for. Any one of us could be what he's looking for.
I feel like a
And-
part of this might be
Yeah.
part of looking for me.
Yes, but Monty, you're not letting me finish.
Oh, my apologies.
Whatever he's looking for, one of us could be it, and then we could get close to him through doing this whole charade. And if we get close to him, then we can, I don't know, kill him or whatever you wanted to do.
I
don't know if we should kill him.
need to be the
Right
one that
off
kills
the
him.
bat.
No, I need to be the one that
Well,
does it.
yes, I'm just saying that if Monty wants to kill him, we could get him that in.
Princess is like looking around as this conversation. She's like, I can't stop these
But
people,
also-
but I can protect them.
We need to
So
talk.
looking around.
We need to not talk about this in the city
Okay, well, where are we going?
because he's got eyes. He's the head of the he's the head of the Navy. He'll have eyes and ears everywhere, especially
Where does the city begin? Are we
everywhere.
in the city right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
where are we
People all
going?
over the place.
And
as you're
he's
standing around the
he's
docks.
connected to pirates, and if he is, they could be here right now. Could be that old man over there hauling crab pots.
Does anyone seem like they're being nosy in our conversation, or like are looking at us like, what the fuck are they talking about? Can I see if anyone?
Yeah.
Give me
Me too.
perception or insight.
I'm
Take
very
your pick,
on
one of
edge
the two.
here, please.
I will actually use my insight since.
Okay.
I got a natural one for my
absolutely.
perception check. A seagull shits in my eye.
Oh
You're too distracted. You're just way too focused
I'm
on
too
your
anxious.
paranoia.
It's just like
Yeah, you're too anxious to like land on any one person to get any sort of information. About
I'm just
them, yeah.
staring at this old guy like hauling crab pots. You know,
You're like,
you're
maybe
one of-
he
you're
is
one
a
of them.
pirate.
You're one of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to
I
him.
did
And
a
I'm gonna walk up to
perception.
him,
No, Monty, Monty, no.
just being friendly. Howdy.
Okay. Hey,
You good at hauling crab?
thank you.
How long you been doing this for?
60 years,
Ugh,
give or take.
nice. That's a noble profession.
Thank you.
You got any like cool like sailor tattoos?
No, I don't sail. I just haul crabs.
You got any like cool tattoos though?
No,
I show him the kraken tentacles down my arm.
that's a nice one.
Yep. Used to haul crabs myself.
Nice.
Well, you have a good one.
You too.
Turn around.
Is that how people talk to each other here?
No.
Okay.
So 21. For
That guy
Tedros
needs to
against-
join our
Okay.
crew. He's joining our crew.
Yeah, you did insight, right? Okay,
Tedros,
I
yes.
did perception and I got a 17. for
Okay.
perception.
You both notice the same person.
Oh, great.
Different thing. It's probably like a combo. Like Princess notices, like sees her, and then Tedros kind of interprets. So, given the perception and the insight. So, Princess, you can see there is this older woman, probably in her 60s or 70s. Very. You would be like, with your experience, you would be able to tell that everything she's wearing is very well made and expensive, but not in an opulent, obvious way. She's sitting at like a little raised cafe. It's kind of like because you're at the docks, so kind of everything slopes downwards towards where you are a little bit now. So the street that she the building that she's sitting at, like it's one of those ones where it starts uphill, but then like as the hill comes down, it stays level. So she's kind of like on a slightly raised little like patio area, sitting there, just kind of like sitting at a table by herself, looking out at the docks. Looks like she's having like some morning, like afternoon tea at this point. Wearing like a very nice red dress. Her hair is done up very nicely. She's wearing like a very nice set of silver necklaces, and some rings, and like you can just kind of spot the details. It was like, oh, this is a wealthy ass person, but not one that feels the need to like show it off. This is just like the standard of how she dresses. And Tedros, you notice this person, you can through insight just kind of get a sense that she's too far away to hear anything of what you're saying. Like she's at a bit of a distance, but she's watching all of you with just great interest, just like absolutely fascinated. You can see she has a book in her hand that she's just like kind of closed and still like keeping her page with one finger, but she's like set it down in her lap and is just kind of slightly leaning forward, watching everything all of you are doing, just fascinated by you.
Yeah. Princess leaned over to Tedros and is like, Tedros, thoughts on Auntie over there?
Yeah, she's keeping an eye on us. Whatever she's got in mind, we have become the newest thing to entertain her, and I don't know what that means. So,
Well, we could go say hello. And Princess will begin walking directly towards this lady. Yeah. And Princess is taking the time before getting to Titan's grave to like finishes her makeup. Her hair is done. Everything she's worn looks a little bit nicer. She's been fixing it up, so she knows what she was going into. And putting on that airs, shoulders back, head high, takes her hat off, and holds it in front of her on her chest, and like just a little head bow.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
The patio she's on is maybe like 4 or 5 feet up, so like you can get up to it and look up at her, but like it's not like
that's what I'm
super
doing.
high up. Yeah. And so she just kind of like leans down and just kind of like does like a slight incline of her head, is like kind of like almost like a slight return bow as she sees you. She says, "Well, hello, dear. I couldn't help but notice your group of friends. You're not from around here, are you?"
Oh no. We're from all over collectively.
Oh, all over. How fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Care to share what's sort of all over?
Oh, well, I'm from up north, from Avelia.
I've heard of Avalia. Never met anyone from there, though.
Oh, well, we do like our forest. We don't like to travel outside. If we do travel outside, well, it's for a good reason.
You have good reason now?
Yes, I do. I would like to see the world and meet new people. And you are new people. And she like kind of says prompting for a name.
Where are my manners? And she kind of like sits up a little more straight in her seat. You can see she's got a parasol like leaning off to one side that she just kind of like takes in her hands so she can rest her hands on top of it a little bit more. What?
Nothing.
She's not using it. Rest her hands like on the hand a little bit more, kind of almost like a cane.
Interesting.
My name is Lady Norma Stanway, and it is a pleasure to meet you.
That is.
Lady Norma Stanway, is that what you
Yes,
said?
Norma Stanway.
Norma Stanway. Oh, lady. Well, my matters. My friends call me Princess. Gee. That.
Now that is an interesting name for one to have.
Well, I'm an entertainer and we are traumatic.
Oh, an entertainer.
Oh, yes. I sing and I play a number of instruments. I do not dance, but my friend over there is quite the gymnast.
Are
Yes.
you all entertainers?
You look over and Yule is just like twirling in circles.
Just spinning around, arms
He's
out.
just spinning around looking up at the blue sky like, wow.
You know who? You know
Yes.
who? I just realized. You know who Yule reminds me of? Boo from Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Huge boo energy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mhm.
Boo when Boo gets older.
Yep.
And Monty's real name is Sully.
No! Don't make me cry.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Start calling Monty Kitty.
No.
Oh my god, I can't believe his real name really is Sully. That's fucking
Yeah.
insane.
No, he wouldn't be Kitty, he'd be Puppy.
Puppy!
No. No.
It's happening. I'm ready to get down.
It's a fan
Welcome to
fiction
Titan's
now.
Grave.
It's a fan. I'm gonna write our fan fictions.
Can you make one where Victoria's happy?
Nice.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well,
In,
we'd have to
in
make
fact,
that
I'm
for everyone.
creative. I'm creative enough to make one where Galina and Viktoria are happy at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, speaking of that's right.
Whoa.
Speaking of Galina has said her goodbyes and has gone off to charter a ship to head back to Aor from here. So she has gone off to do that.
Okay. Bye.
Monty, at this point, actually, you were busy talking to Crab Pot Man.
Yeah, he's joining the crew.
Yeah, okay. You were busy talking to Crab Pot Man, and as you come back, you would like this is the first time you see Princess talking to this woman. Actually,
Oh, no. Do I know who this is?
you actually do.
Oh, for
Yes.
fuck's
Mon, I'm gonna say you
sake.
probably are capable of recognizing just about
Every
anyone.
noble.
Yeah, pretty much every noble. You'll probably
Great.
know who they are.
Great.
You definitely know who she is, because Lady Norma Stanway was your mother's political mentor.
Oh.
Good vibes.
You haven't seen her since you were like a wee lad.
Fuck. Okay, cool. I will
But
approach.
like it was one of those things where it's like your mom would go and visit with her and everything, and she would be like, "Come with me," but like you from your childhood associated her with boring old politics lady,
Cool.
so
It's a
just
good
like
thing I'm
never wanted to
It's a
go.
good thing I'm not using my real voice here. I'm gonna approach.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
So you've met some of my friends.
Yes, I was just asking about you. You were all just so interesting to me, and I was just about to ask: are you all performers or
I'm just a sailor, merchant sailor.
a sailor?
Yeah.
All right.
From Montblanc, Montblanc of Tiburon.
Oh, all right. From one of our sister islands. I see. I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So we have a sailor, a dancer, a singer.
And I'll say,
What about the rest of you?
nice to meet you as well, and lady, and then say her last name.
Are you wait? So you say nice to meet you, ladies, like nice to meet you, Lady Stanway,
Yeah.
despite the fact that you weren't there to hear her when she introduced herself.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So
like
you can play this fucking game. Let's go.
all right. All right. Well. Oh, I see my. She'll just say, "Oh, I see my my reputation precedes me." Then.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh, well, please do tell. What do people say about me?
Oh, you're kind, a gentle soul, intelligent, and a great political man.
Young man, flattery will get you everywhere. Please, would you
I'm
and your
aware.
friends like? Would you and your friends like to join me for some tea?
Of course.
Yes, let me go get them. Montblanc, you keep talking to the lady. And Princess will go and like tell the group, and also being like, "This is the lady, as you know, but just like, you know, we want to make an impression. I'm getting the vibes that Montblanc knows this person, and if Montblanc trusts them, I trust them because Montblanc doesn't trust anybody. So let's just not cut this up. All right." And Princess will turn around and lead the way back towards Lady Stanway.
Yes, we're following.
Okay. All right.
Being like, holy shit, Montblanc is talking to someone?
Yeah.
What?
Yule gets like almost left behind before she looks up and notices people are wandering away, and she runs after.
Yeah. So Monty, while you're there, she just like turns to one of the waiters, and just says, "Leonard, would you please let
Leonard.
Yeah. Would you please escort my new friends here up and bring a few tables over? I'm going to have them join me for tea." And one of the like waiters at this seaside cafe nods and then makes his way down, and you can see other waiters. You can hear the scraping sounds of tables being like pulled together as this waiter comes down and waits by Monty for all of you to meet up by him. Is this everyone for Lady Stanway's party?
Lady who?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Stanway. Yes.
Yes.
Right this way, please. And he leads you up the streets, and you can see that this building is actually fairly lengthy. And by the time you get over to, like, you have to kind of wind around the entrance, and there's like a garden gate you need to go through, and you pass through like a little garden with a fountain and everything. And you can see this is kind of like it's hard to tell from the patio. The patio just looks like any other regular cafe, but this is like almost a like one of those like elite social club type places where it's really like the front door is pretty well not protected, but just like hard to get in, hard for anyone to just walk in off the street. But then the patio is there, so you can just like look out and watch the ships come and go. So you're led through like a garden area into the main front area of the building, where you can see just like this very nice dark wood sitting area with a variety of very nice armchairs around and fireplaces and paintings and things, and people like smoking pipes and cigars and sitting around drinking glasses of drinks that probably cost as much as everything you have on you at the moment. And then you're brought out through the back, and then like into more of a cafe section, where you're eventually brought out onto the patio, where you can see that by the time you get there, several tables have been put together, and Lady Stanway is sitting there basically at the head of this little cafe table, and a few pots of tea have been kind of like brought out. You can already see them steaming out the spout, and then like a couple of waiters are just like waiting on hand for anything you should need. And she says, "Please, please, come join me and sit."
Yep.
Tedros will give a small bow and pull out chairs for the ladies, and then take a seat himself.
Like following along with everything, very confused. You will just kind of like curtsy and then take a seat.
I'll do the bow. I can't remember if that's also in my notes. I swear I did, with the bow that a lot of the higher ups and naval people do in Titan's Grave. It's just like the specific kind of like big sweeping.
There's a hand placement and everything in a specific way to All right. She says, "Oh, fairly cultured for just a sailor." Oh, and Cadence is also there and just looking uncomfortable at everything.
Been around a lot of noble folk in my time.
Oh, any I would know?
I doubt it. Last time I was here, a noble family came down in hard times, and they were looking to kill the traitorous son. So,
I believe I know that she. You can see she just kind of like deflates a little at that. Like the age shows on her for a second. She says, "I believe I know the family of which you are speaking. Unfortunate."
Did they ever catch the traitor? Or
No. I've word is that he died somewhere out in the world. Unfortunate. I was a good friend of his mother.
Was?
Well, am, I suppose, to an extent, but she's secluded herself a bit, and we haven't spoken lately. I think I remind her a bit of the glory days and that are since behind her, and she's been less interested in company.
Well, I hope the officials haven't given her much trouble if it was just her son causing the problems.
Well, she's been her noble status was revoked, so allowed to keep the home. However, I understand that given the difficulty of upkeep without her noble status, she has a small amount of money. She does some sort of work for the captain of the Orchid. He was generous enough to take her on as a clerical role.
I need to make a performance check.
Okay, well, you knew that one. You knew that one already. But okay, but just mentioning,
in person.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Natural
Tedros,
1.
Can Tedros tell that he's starting to lose it a little bit there?
Well, so on that one is going to be probably like, if there had been like gradual, like several of these in a row, you would have been able to tell. But this is just like Monty is normal, Monty is not. So like, what exactly is the what exactly is a nat 1 reaction from Monty here?
Bulging temple vein and clenched jaw.
My dear, are you quite all right?
Apologies.
He has really bad headaches.
Let me talk.
I was just trying to help.
I understand. I used to work for the Orncroft family.
Surprised I don't recognize you then. I spent quite a bit of time with them.
Did you know?
Well, yeah, well, Esmith, less so the family as a whole, but I came by from time to time.
And I know there's people who overheard during my travels that some people don't believe the stories that Von Stark said about the boy. What's your opinion? What do you think?
She just, you can see her eyes just sort of looks out, sips her cup of tea for a second before setting it down, taking a nice long pause, and says, well, to say such a thing would be to doubt the honor and legitimacy of the head of our illustrious navy. So to say something like that out loud would put a person at a great amount of risk. So I wouldn't say such a thing out loud.
Interesting. Okay.
But it is a shame about Esmith, though. She was my greatest pupil.
And have you done anything to help her?
Well, she's a proud woman. I offered money. I offered just aid and everything, but she didn't want to drag my name through the mud with hers. So she refused every offer of aid I gave her. I've kept tabs on her, made sure she's eating, made sure she has enough. She's transferred to the estate guest house, though, for her living quarters. The estate itself is too difficult to maintain in her current state, so the guest house is much more modest and doable for her to upkeep in her current state of affairs.
Right.
It was a fortunate day for the ne'er-do-wells of politics, though, when her noble status was revoked, though.
Why do you say that?
Well, she had her causes that she championed. She had her she had a certain nose for nefarious dealings and corruption, things like that. She also, well, the nickname that the others of the courts had given her was the Dandelioness. Fierce, noble, and with fierce and noble, and the seeds of her designs could spread to every court in the land with but a single breath. She was an entire family unto herself, and a formidable force in the political courts. And when she left, things became much simpler for her political opponents.
Isn't that a coincidence?
She sounds like a wonderful woman.
She is. I mean, from what I know,
she's one of the best.
I would
Even by
certainly love to meet her.
This is one of the best. And when Monty slips up, she says, she just continues by saying, even those who know her simply by reputation cannot help but sing her praises.
Can I get an insight check to see if she has an inkling of who I am?
Go ahead and roll one.
I would also like to make
natural 20 for a 24.
Monty's playing this one real fast and loose.
What I want to do is roll an insight check on Monty.
Emotions are starting
this conversation.
To rise. Yeah, natural 20 for 24.
Okay. So before we get to that, Princess, go ahead and roll to see what you can get from like Monty here.
That is insight. Let me scroll down. That is math. Boop boop boop. That is 17 for insight.
Okay. It's probably good enough to get a pretty general read on Monty's. Where is Monty at right now with all this? Is this him aiming for an agenda, or is this more just like an emotion driven, just like
a little bit of both?
Okay. So it's partially like trying to get information, partially just like gobbling up news about his family.
All right.
Monty, you can tell just by talking to her that she has her suspicions. You don't think she recognizes you completely, but she has her suspicions that you're not all you seem. But you seem she's catching on how much you care and approve of the Orncroft family, and she in turn approves of that. So she is like, basically the more outbursts you have, the more she actually likes you.
Interesting. I'm gonna lean in then, closer.
Okay.
And only so she can hear.
Yeah. As you do so, she actually pulls a fan out, like off her belt, and then flares it out and starts fanning herself, so the two of you are covered.
And he's gonna say, "So you're trustworthy."
And there's a moment of hesitation as like the voice clicks some things into place, and she says, "Well, I dare so. I like to think so, my dear."
Good to know. And I'll sit back. I'll have a rum.
Dude, have we gotten our tea yet?
Oh, there was already there was teapot. There was a variety of teapots already set out on the table, and like cups.
This entire time, Viktoria has been trying to show you all how to like properly hold a teacup.
And she's just like getting distracted by what's going on and like choking on her tea like every 5 seconds.
Can I get a rum?
We have actually no. I said you saw people.
I don't drink tea.
Sipping alcohol. Right away, sir. And one of them hurries. Anything with it? Ice, a mixer, a garnish.
Another one on the side.
Right away, sir. And you can see he goes away, but you can see just like this guy in his like mid-40s, probably not you don't recognize him as a noble, looks like a merchant, but just like big bushy beard, streaks of gray in it, like kind of balding, sitting there just like a table covered in ledgers, looking out over the sea, and just like you can see he's just like tracking boats, and it looks like it looks like basically he's using this seat and this vantage point as a way to do just kind of like market analysis. But as you say that, and like the waiter sounds a little exasperated, this guy just like lifts up like a big tumbler glass, just like nearly filled to the brim with something dark, and just goes, hey, and then takes a swig and then goes back to what he's doing.
Nice.
And then a little while later they'll come out with 2 little glasses of some very expensive dark rum.
I'll toss him like 3 gold.
As you go to reach for your purse, Lady Stanway just like with the fan still in hand, just like lightly like smacks your knuckles with it, and she says, "No, you're all my guests. I'll be taking care of that."
All right.
So we can order anything we want.
Yes, go ahead, dear.
Within reason.
Chocolate milk.
Is there a menu?
There absolutely is a menu. In fact, why don't we get a menu over here? And she waves over for the waves over at the waiters, and they'll come and bring out like very nicely hand printed, handwritten menus with like calligraphy done on them. No prices listed, but it has it's probably like a lunch to afternoon tea menu, with like tea cakes and probably like very like light open like sand, like maybe like you could probably, there's more like appetizers and things. You can get like smoked salmon and crackers, caviar.
She would probably just like gravitate toward any sort of like cakes and pastries.
Okay, yeah, they have a very nice cakes and pastries menu. Or actually, for cakes and pastries, that'll just say like it just says cakes and pastries. And if you're looking at it, Lady Stanway will tell you just like, oh, if you're interested in anything of the sweeter variety, they'll bring the sweets cart out to you, and you can pick from whatever they have available.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. Thank you so much. I'm Yulyanya, by the way. I don't think we did any introductions.
Yes, actually, where are my manners? I believe you've all been introduced to me, but I have not heard the names of all of my wonderful new friends.
Well, yes, I'm Yulyanya Skybringer. I am an acrobat and a performer. So,
Very nice to meet you.
thank you so much for your hospitality.
Sure. I am Tedros Kahino, from the Old Lands.
Very nice to meet you. And then she looks to Viktoria, who's the only one who hasn't been introduced yet.
And to round out the bottom, I am Lady Viktoria of the 5-Star Chalice.
A lady of Aor, nonetheless.
Oh, have you been?
I've never been, but your nation is of quite the stir in our political climate right now.
Yes, but the actions of the Empress do not reflect all houses' opinions.
Ooh. Well,
yes, and I'm from the valley.
Oh, which valley?
The valley.
Fascinating.
In Gelreth.
Oh, I've never been. Well, there are some looking back at Viktoria, she'll say, there are some differences of opinion amongst two of our current political factions about Aor and its actions, so I'm sure they would be very interested to hear your insight.
What are the factions, and what are their opinions?
Well, currently our international courts are split between the isolationist faction and the outreach faction. Isolationist faction is particularly disinterested in the actions of Aor and considers whatever they're doing to be not a threat, and sees any actions they take as just mere opportunities for trade, and a larger trade partner is a better trade partner, whereas the outreach faction is a bit more sympathetic to the foes of Aor, and wishes to aid them as well as others of our neighbors in order to promote stronger economic ties throughout the sea.
Both sides have great merit, I will say.
On the surface.
Of course.
Yep.
Awkwardly sips tea.
Yep, yeah. There's like a little lazy Susan in the middle of the table, like a little rotating platform with like each of you has teacups at your place, or like where you sat down, and there's like lazy Susan with teapots on them of like all different varieties and flavors, just like a nice black tea. There's like there's a variety of several herbal tea mixtures, something a little bit more spiced with like cinnamon and cloves, more like a chai. Just a variety.
So, tell me, Lady Stanway, are you going to this, or will you be appearing at this so-called public courtship between
Oh yes, the courtship.
so-and-so and whoever else?
Well, the so-and-so is is decided, but the someone else has yet to be chosen, I understand, and perhaps
any prospects?
Well, you're very interested in the gossip of the nobility for a sailor, but
yeah, I gotta have something to talk about and pass the time on the sea.
True. Every time she like says something where like just with that like nat 20 insight check just kind of carrying over, every time she says something like that where it sounds suspicious, the tone, like the words are like weird, that's suspicious, but the tone is just like that will be suspicious to somebody else. And then when you like say something like that, she's just like, okay, good, you have a cover story for it. So like
I do.
it's less her like actually being suspicious and more her just like guiding your, like trying to guide your speech and like help you. And she says, Lord von Stark is of course the so-and-so who is looking for a wife, and his current, yes, he seems eager to start a family from the rumors I've heard. And the current object of his desire, some rumors say, is Lady Marietta Veer.
Do I know who that is? You said I know all the nobles, right?
Pretty much know all the nobles, yeah. Like, to varying degrees. Like, you probably recognize all of them. You know who she is. She's, like, a little younger than you and Dieter. Not by much, though. Okay. You remember that she's... you don't remember a lot about her. She was actually pretty, like, even at, like... She was introduced to court at one point, you know, like, brought into the noble life and introduced and everything. But generally, you get the sense that she was pretty much, like, only appeared as often as she had to.
Okay.
And otherwise was much more interested in books and studying and learning, and even back when you were still here, was very interested in attending some kind of university. You may have a better idea of what kind of university now if you heard about the closest university last session. But that's kind of the general vibe.
And how do you spell her name?
Marietta is Marietta, and then Veer is Vear.
All right. Well, that's very interesting.
We'll have to see how well she receives his courtship. I have my doubts, but stranger things have happened.
Do outsiders have a chance in this courtship thing?
Oh, I suppose so. Most times, marriages like this are done for political reasons, and if such...
Victoria looks at the others with an "I told you so" look.
If significant political ties could be made to a foreign entity, especially for a captain of the Navy, well, that could only spell good things for him. If the Orchid had a friendly port in another country, that could only be beneficial to his renown and the Navy as a whole.
Would you say Aor would suffice?
Oh, perhaps.
Choke on my rum.
It's incredible rum, by the way. It is so good. It's so
good.
It's so good.
I'm used to drinking swill, so.
I mean, how does one secure an invitation to these?
Didn't we get one? I wipe my ass with it.
No, that wasn't an invitation.
Newsletter.
Yeah, that was just a newsletter, just like telling everyone about it. But she says, "Is an invitation something you would be interested in?"
I mean, I came all of this way, and I am young, in line to inherit the house.
All three of us ladies are of marrying age.
You can see she leans back. You can see she just leans back in her chair, takes her parasol, puts it under her hands, and just like there's a look on her face like someone about to sit down to watch their favorite TV show. About just like, oh my god, how is the most entertaining thing I've ever heard of just fallen into my lap? And she says, "Well, obtaining an invitation would be quite difficult for yourselves on your own, but if you had, say, the sponsorship and were guests of a local noble and were visiting the said noble's household, well, she could then bring you and introduce you to the court and present you as guests and options for courtship.
Well, then I would assume it is a good thing that you are our friend, no?
Indeed. Would you all like to come and stay as guests on my estate? I have found myself with an abundance of rooms and a lack of company, and I am always happy to take in new friends who I have recently met who are in need of a place to stay, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
Yeah.
of course, your ladyship, we would be honored.
Of course.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And she sets the parasol aside and starts sipping her tea, and you can just like see the wheels turning in this old woman's head, just and you're not sure if there's an agenda here or if she's just like, this is gonna be good.
Next time on Codex Legendarium, the dating sim. It's just a dating sim now.
I love how my name was just thrown into the ring. Princess was looking around like, now why am I in it?
All of
You know,
us ladies.
This is very interesting because
I mean, we would.
I've heard some gossip about the people that Dieter likes to covet, but
Oh?
who am I to say?
What gossip is
What
that,
would
my
you
dear?
say about those kinds of people?
Muscular, handsome.
Hmm. Well, have you all had the chance to read the latest High Bellow newsletter?
Absolutely, we got it coming in.
Was that
Well,
the most recent one? Princess
yes.
will show like, yeah, those are the most recent ones.
Oh,
Yes,
I got very familiar with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, she'll take it and read because you guys got 2 copies.
We got 2
so if the-
copies.
yeah,
yes, we have
Princess
one
pulls
up.
out the second copy that you didn't get to wipe your ass with.
Princess would
And
never
then-
let you just take the only copy they had and use it to wipe your ass.
That's what I think of this.
And yeah, she takes it and like looks it over and says, why, yes, this is the most recent one. And if you look down here at the bottom, and she gestures the part where it mentions his like covert visits to Mumbleton Manor, she'll say, well, there have been rumors about covert visits to Lord Mumbleton, so perhaps he's interested in more than one kind of company.
Of course. The sea gets very lonely. But also,
So I hear.
well,
Our relationships here, is it supposed to just be one person with one other person?
For the most part, well, I mean, among the nobility, political marriages do happen, and when there's if an understanding should happen between spouses about the political nature of their relationship, non or extramarital romantic partners can be accepted, although usually kept under some sort of wraps for the sake of public propriety.
yeah, it's not uncommon to dip your toes in multiple sources of water.
Especially for sailors.
How's it like in Aor looking at it's like, oh, Princess like, oh, I didn't think about how marriage works in other places because it's not like that where she's from.
Yeah, things are weird in the valley.
Well, you see, my uncle was never married, or at least not while I have been with him, and the suitors tended to favor my sister.
Oh, so you're saying okay? Yeah, but so leave it at that. Like, oh, that's sore subject,
Well,
perhaps. Moving on.
Now is your chance to shine.
Exactly. She has gone back to AR, and it is time for me to not turn down the suitors and to
Yep.
consider my future.
Yep.
Sister told me that love is supposed to be love, and whoever loves one another should be together. However many there are.
This ain't love.
Yes.
Nobles do not marry for love.
In some ways it is What?
Oh fuck!
What was it?
I almost said my parents did.
How much of that did Monty get out
I
of his
said,
mouth?
"Well, Matt," and then I stopped.
And then as you get to that part, that fan just comes whipping down right on your knuckles, like under the table.
Just
cuts you off.
Yeah, we love that. I love this woman.
And she says, "Well, and just completely ignoring Monty right now, just says to Yule, in some ways that is a way that life is much simpler for the common folk than it is for the nobility."
Very much so.
Well, perhaps a change will blow through this land. There are countries where nobles marry for the same reason everyone else does.
Yes, I've heard of. It does happen on occasion, and just like slight glance over at Monty before looking back. It does happen on occasion, but it is much more rare.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just looking at Monty like.
One time I was sailing on the sea and a sailor had relations with his own ship. So, I mean, love can be anywhere.
Charming.
Objectophiles in this universe? It's more likely than you think.
I may need one of those.
Ships?
One of those drinks.
Oh.
One of those drinks. Like what you have, but bigger, please.
So confused where you were going.
I need one of them ships you're talking about.
Not the ship. The
drink.
The drink,
Tedros
please.
Like,
please.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah. I gotta go take a shit.
Thank you.
So charming as always, Montblanc.
I actually have to use the restroom too. Where is it?
Just inside and to your left.
I'm not actually going to do that. I gotta go buy some stuff.
In the place, or are you just like leaving the restaurant?
Yeah. Leaving.
We're gonna see you. We're on the porch.
Yeah, I gotta go buy some supplies.
I genuinely went to the bathroom, and I am genuinely going to the bathroom. Sorry, guys.
Okay, all right.
It was nice to meet you, Lady Stanway.
You as well. Do please return if you all are still intending on taking me up on my offer of a place to stay.
Oh, 100%.
Wonderful.
I'm not leaving.
No.
She just in case we miss you, she gestures out like towards the kind of towards the docks, a little bit where like the docks meet one of the canals, and on like one of the wider parts, it kind of like it expands out into a delta, and she points down to a little long boat with kind of like a very nice ornate canopy, fabric canopy over the back, and like spots for like multiple gondoliers to push it. And she says, that is my boat that I'll be taking to return home. So whenever you make your way back, if we're not up here, we should be down there waiting for you.
Oh, I should only be a few minutes.
Wonderful.
And I'll run off looking for a pet store.
All right. Yeah, you're on the docks. You can easily find one.
All right. What do I see?
Just a variety. So you walk in, and it's just like a bunch of cages around, just like filling the walls and everything in the middle of the room, and just like squawking, hissing, meowing, barking, just it's so much noise as you walk into
any
this place.
Weird pets? Like just that someone wouldn't usually want.
Not. You do see one.
Yes.
Monkey.
Interesting. What kind of monkey are we talking about here?
Let me make sure I remember. It is a capuchin monkey.
Hell yeah. All right. Hello there.
Yeah, hi. How can I help you?
How much for the monkey?
Oh, you want the monkey?
Yeah.
Kind of like looks you up and down for a second.
I'm a
You
sailor.
got 2 gold pieces on you.
Why only 2?
Oh well, that's the going price for a monkey these days. I mean,
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
This monkey is cursed.
This dice is hard to read. 18 plus 4, 22.
Okay, yeah, he's trying to get rid of that monkey.
Yeah.
So why are you trying to get rid of this monkey? Is it a shit disturber? Does it throw shit?
It doesn't throw shit.
It eats shit?
What?
It eats it?
No, nothing to do with shit. Why do you keep fixating on
I've always
shit?
heard monkeys throw shit at each other, so...
Some of them, not this one. No, it just... It's a
dick?
Yeah, more or less.
Perfect. They'll get along with everyone then.
Alright, 2 gold.
Well, not everyone. What should I feed it? Flesh.
I don't know, whatever you feed a monkey. Fruit, I think.
Alright. Alright. Does it come with the cage?
Yeah, I'll give you the cage.
Alright. Here's 4 gold.
Pleasure doing business with you.
You as well. Alright. Cool. What am I gonna call you?
Yeah, there's just like the little monkey just like hands on the bars and just peeks up at you.
Hey there. How's it going? Alright. What's your name? Spud? Sounds good.
Spud the monkey.
And I'm gonna return to the where we were with the monkey. Oh, Sam froze.
Oh no.
Oh, you'll do this, Sam. Frozen.
Oh, his
Alright.
eyes are moving. There
I'm
you are.
gonna
Hello.
return to the where we were with the monkey.
Okay. Do you like? You probably come within view of the patio as you're walking, whereas you all just see Montblanc walk back over across like this outdoor area, just holding a cage with a monkey in it.
This is not a cat.
Is that a fucking monkey?
Yeah, his name's Spud.
We agreed on a cat.
Didn't have any cats.
That's gotta be a
You'd
lie.
be surprised.
That is a lie.
Deception check, please.
Insight? I would like to
rolled
make
the shit out of this
insight.
insight check.
Natural 1.
And we're all gonna.
They absolutely, none of you
Didn't
need to
have
roll.
cats.
None of you need to roll. They absolutely. You can hear like the pet shop is close enough. You can still hear meowing coming from behind.
No one wanted it. No one wanted this little guy, and I thought we could give him a good home.
Well, you can't
I've
bring the
never
monkey into this
seen
establishment.
One of
Montblanc.
those before. What is that?
It's a monkey.
This is a monkey. They throw shit at each
This
other.
one doesn't throw shit. Apparently, he's just a dick.
That's not
Very
better.
cute.
That's not better.
Look, he's
Very
fine. I
cute.
stick my finger in the cage. See?
On animal handling check.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
With disadvantage. I'm joking.
5.
Sticker. Bites the end of your finger.
See, it's fine.
Oh, he's a feisty little feller, isn't
Just
he?
leave your finger and there's like.
See, that's why I thought it'd be perfect for you, Victoria.
Can
Can
I reach
you
in and
maybe-
try and pet it?
Well, so you're like up on the patio. Montblanc is
Oh.
like 5 feet down. Like
Ah,
he hasn't
gotcha.
come in with this yet.
How
And you can
is
see
the
the
lady
whole-
responding to all of this right
Just
now? Like, what is her-
fanning herself with a combination of amusement and like and also just like don't make me deal with this monkey. The
You
wait
cannot bring that in this
the
establishment.
waiters are just like pale in the face and wide-eyed, looking between her
Well,
and the monkey.
I can't return him because that would be cruel.
Well, you can just stay right there then.
Why
Maybe
don't
you should take it to the ship.
You know what? I
Or-
got an idea. I'm gonna walk over to the guy that was hauling up crab pots.
Okay.
Hey there.
Hi.
You think monkeys would eat a crab?
Maybe.
You got a crab?
Plenty.
Can I buy one?
Stalls over there.
I'm gonna walk over to the stall.
All right. You see an You see
I
an-
never did this kind of stuff when I lived here before.
equally old woman sitting there at a crab stall.
Hey there.
Ah,
Oh fuck. How much for one singular crab?
copper piece.
I don't got a copper. Here's 4 silver.
All right. Takes the money, hands you a crab.
Is
She's
it?
not even gonna give him extra for that.
I don't care.
Nope.
Is it alive?
Wow.
Yeah.
Put it in the cage.
Can we see this?
No, that's
see my
bad.
flash?
I'm not that dumb. I'm not that dumb.
Can we see
I'm not
this?
that dumb. I'm not that dumb. I also don't have any of my weapons on me. I'm just gonna go
Give
like
the
this.
monkey a knife.
I don't have any of my weapons on me. So I'm just gonna go like this and try to like cave in the top of its shell.
You can do that.
Yeah, and then put it into the cage.
All right. Yeah. Then you can hear just like cracking and munching sounds.
Perfect.
Do I have my axe on me? I think I do.
Do you?
I would not have taken it off.
Are we not supposed to have our weapons on us?
You can see people carrying weapons. And actually, you can
Okay.
see,
My only reason I didn't bring mine is because it was a huge fucking flail
Yeah.
anchor and then a chain.
and you can see you can actually see that amongst the nobles that you passed by in the like inside the establishment you're in, they like plenty of them are like wearing swords.
Mine just kind of lives in my brain, so.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
So big ass axe is not completely out of the blue. Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But that may be why, maybe one of the reasons why she was so interested in all of you to begin with is because you're all heavily armed.
All right, it eats crab.
Wonderful.
Good to know.
As you're doing this, Lady Stanway's going to stand up and just say, "Why don't we return to my estate? I think I've quite had my fill of tea."
Excellent.
I agree.
Excellent
Let's go.
idea.
Wonderful idea.
Oh, yeah. Who wants the monkey?
Huh?
Like to keep and to care for and to love, and I'll give the monkey to Yule.
So they come out the front of the establishment on their way past you. You can just hand the cage with the monkey in it to Yule, and it's like, yeah, just got the bars and like comes and looks out with you with like its eyes like looking all big, but just like with raw crab meat and viscera just like dripping from its mouth.
I want to go back
She's
to the pet
just
store.
staring like she's in the zoo.
I'll meet you. Give me another 5 minutes.
How can you meet us anywhere? You don't
okay.
know where we're going?
Yeah, I'm gonna meet you all at the ship she pointed out.
Oh.
Yeah,
We gave
she'll
him 5.
she'll
We gave him
lead you
5
all
minutes and
down.
He had a monkey. I don't know if I like this.
We left him alone.
But I'm gonna go back to the pet store.
Oh,
Back to where?
The pet store.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Hey there.
No refunds on the monkey.
No,
I
no,
don't care what
monkey's
he
great.
did.
Monkey's good.
No, he's not, but all right.
Now everyone's getting mad at me because I didn't buy a fucking cat.
Oh, you want a cat?
Fuck no.
All right. What do you want?
I'm gonna walk up to one of the cats anyway and see if it hisses at me.
Make an animal handling check with
Oh.
disadvantage.
Oh, excellent. Okay. It was a natural 20 and an 11.
Okay, it doesn't like hiss at you, but it does like puff up a little bit and backs up a little bit. in
Yeah,
the
no
cage.
thanks. What kind of pet would Tedros lack? You got any owls?
He's just over here buying pets for everybody.
Yeah, why not?
I got parakeets.
That's close enough. It's not at all. How much for the parakeet in the cage?
5 silver.
I'll give 1 gold.
All right.
truly.
Keep the change.
I was gonna.
So parakeet under 1 arm.
Victoria,
What kind of
Victoria's gonna feel so betrayed when you don't come
what-
back with a cat.
what kind of pet would Princess lack?
What kind of pet
What-
princess?
What kind of pet do you think a stern yet kind instrument playing person would lack?
Galina.
Got any snakes?
I got a few snakes.
What kind?
He gestures to a variety of sizes of the snake. all the way from, like,
Any
little
cobras?
No cobras. We don't keep the venomous ones here. Got
Yeah,
a ball
makes sense.
python though.
Good. How much for that one?
5 gold.
Fuck. Alright, there goes 5 gold. Alright, fuck me. Got any hairless cats?
No, they don't really do too well here.
Yeah, makes sense. What would the cat look like that did not like me?
kind of like a light, very light brown, like almost white, but like somewhere between like white and light brown, and very, very fluffy.
How much for the cat? Like with the absolute most disdain in my voice.
Mm-hmm. About a gold. Call it a gold.
All right. Now I need a pet for myself. So, parakeet, cat, snake. What kind of pet do you think would suit someone like me?
A Pomeranian.
True.
I don't think that we have the lifestyle for a dog.
I also don't think Justin mentally could handle having a dog.
Get a fucking hamster.
Well, that thing would be dead so quick. You got any octopi?
No. All right. How much patience you got for taking care of things?
I feel like I have a lot lately.
Aw. The words of a depressed person.
1 second.
You ever like?
This is amazing.
You ever like have to take care of something that's constantly full of energy and jumping around and running around and hopping around and?
Hey, you need something a little more low key and calm down. Calm down.
I don't want anything else that'll chase seagulls.
You know, I got just the thing. What
do you got?
Here, come with me into the back. Here, let me get you a hand cart for all this.
Oh, excellent. It's just a seagull.
He gets you like one of those little like loading dollies you can put all these cages on.
Cat.
And then
for the time being, you're called asshole. We'll see what happens. Parakeet. I don't know. Parmesan. All right.
Sean the parakeet.
Oh yeah, wheel the cart in the back.
All right. He brings you to the back where you can see just like a lot more animals, but then he leads you way into the back where you see the reason you're gonna need the hand cart. Because what he shows you is a cage that's probably about 5 feet long, 2 feet wide, maybe 2 to 2.5 feet tall. As you see a very like thick-limbed lizard with a long tongue that flicks out. And
is it a fucking monitor lizard?
It is a Komodo dragon.
Oh,
yes.
Fuck yes.
Says
how much?
I understand this is some kind of dragon.
Yeah, how much for it?
Dragons are rare.
It's not an actual. It doesn't look like an actual dragon.
Oh, excuse me. I'm the one running a pet store here.
You fucking dickhead.
10 gold pieces.
Yeah. How about 4 gold pieces and this vial of troll blood?
Oh, I know that's troll blood. What am I gonna do with troll blood?
You can use it to poison your enemies.
I doubt that's true. Also, I don't have enemies.
You
Poisoning
sure?
people's illegal.
Fucking selling monkeys like that to people?
I warned you as a dick, didn't I?
Right.
Hey, you see, you're buying pets for your friends. See if they'll pay you back for them, and then you can afford your own.
What if I give you 25 pounds worth of Yeti hide as well?
How do I know this is Yeti?
I pull it out.
How do I know this is Yeti?
You ever seen a Yeti before?
No.
You don't trust me?
No.
What if I was a noble?
I don't think you are.
Yeah, fair. Good to know. Can I do anything with any of my blood maledics? No. I really want this Komodo fucking dragon.
I'll see if your friends will pay you back for all the pets you already bought for them.
Fine. I'll be back for that fucking Komodo dragon. Don't sell it.
All right.
I'm gonna wheel the cart.
Okay.
To the ship. Hey.
You're all over at the boat. It's like it's not meant to go on the sea. It is like powered by, or like pushed by poles, or like poles or oars. It's basically just kind of like a little like a, not even like a sailboat, just like something that like nobles take through the waterways.
Here I come with my little push wagon with 3
cages.
cages.
Yeah, Montblanc comes walking over with three cages and a push cart.
All right, Tedros. I know you like
didn't.
owls.
You didn't.
This is the closest thing I could find, and I hand him the cage with the parakeet.
This is not an owl.
I called it Parmesan. You can change the name.
Parmesan?
Yes, this is a parakeet. Didn't have any owls, unfortunately. Princess, I figured this ball python would suit you.
Princess just like, what is happening? I still take the cage.
4-foot-long snake.
Yeah,
It's
Princess
taller
will
than
open
her.
up the cage door with the snake. And like kind of coax it out.
Make me an animal handling check.
Viktoria, you can have this dickhead cat.
Okay, I am very much appreciative of these gifts that you are giving us, but also what happened to keeping a low profile.
This is a low profile.
Is it?
Yeah.
Monty, you have been very upset with us in the past for being conspicuous.
Yeah, but no one's gonna suspect.
So far, you have walked up to random strangers, told them quite a lot of information about your life, quite a lot of seemingly accurate information about your life.
We can trust that woman, so it's fine.
How did you know that we could trust that woman, though?
Because I'm very insightful.
Sure. Okay.
And I whispered in her ear and told her who I was, basically, and she seemed very pleased.
How does that sound logical?
Because we can trust her. I know who she was. She taught my mom everything my mom knows when I was a little kid. It's fine.
And where's
So
where's
didn't
the
you
lady
say
right
that was your
now?
family friend.
We're on the boat, correct?
She's on the boat. I'm assuming you
I'm
all
saying
got
it
off to
now
talk to Montblanc.
because we're not surrounded by people in that cafe. Anyways, I need you all to pay me back for buying you pets.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Just like 6 gold.
Why don't you take
Why?
back the fucking bird?
Monty,
That bird is attached to you now. I can't take the
Monty,
bird.
did you
bird-
get yourself a pet?
I'm gonna, but
Because I remembered, I have puppins, so you could have the monkey.
I don't want the monkey.
Then take the monkey
Why
back.
did you buy Spud?
We
Because
can't
I thought
bring
you
an
would
animal back.
I
after
thought you would
bought
like
it.
the monkey because you're both acrobatic.
We,
Well, I like monkeys,
could
but
do, like,
if you
he
don't
could-
have a pet,
he-
I was
Oh,
just
no,
saying
no.
that you could.
I got one lined up. I just need 6 gold.
take the bird back.
Tedros.
We can't take the bird back. And
You
Princess,
love
the
I
bird.
rolled, I
Fine,
rolled
here,
a
I'll take the
16
bird.
as well.
I'll
I
take
Roll
rolled
a 16 on the-
for my
on the-
animal handling.
On the
Yeah.
animal handling. Yeah, the
Yeah.
snake just kind of like
Snakes love to eat
Moves.
birds.
moves up and just like flicks her tongue out, and then just kind of like feeling the warmth of your hand, just kind of just like comes out a little bit, and then just like presses the top of her head into the palm of your hand.
Oh, yeah. Princess will pick up the snake and put it around her shoulder. Princess
Yeah,
is like, yes.
See?
Yeah, just kind of like curls around your.
I
She curls
bought-
around your shoulder. She curls. Or are you wearing your hat?
Princess took the hat off. Princess, the
Okay.
hat is not on her head right now.
So she wraps around your shoulders and then just
Oh.
kind of like comes up one side of the back of your neck, and then just kind of like her head just like sits on top of your head, up where it's nice and warm.
Also, the guy at the pet store said no returns.
Yes.
I
okay.
just-
You.
I just
How
rolled
much
a
is the pet that you
13.
want?
I rolled a 13, or no, sorry, 15 for animal handling, and Yule's gonna try and stick her hand in the monkey cage, because apparently this is fully her monkey now.
You and the monkey can perform
Okay.
together.
Was it? So did you put your hand or your finger in the cage? You say?
Well, her hands are little, so she's just kind of slipping them behind, like between.
Oh,
the
okay.
legs.
You put your hand and just kind of like sniffs you, and then just like grabs onto your thumb with one hand, and then just kind of like hugs your hand.
See?
Aw,
See?
that's Spud. You can't have him back.
Exactly.
Right.
Monty, how much is the pet that you want?
An additional 6 gold to what I have right now.
I will give Monty 20 gold
Fuck yeah.
and just be like, okay, this is it.
Gone.
No,
I run away.
No more.
Gone.
As soon as you. Well, I see you've all got pets now, says Lady Stanway from the boat.
I'm so sorry, Tedros. I didn't have any
yes,
owls.
Yeah.
He's got a parakeet.
I couldn't remember what a parakeet looks like, and I had to Google it. I'm like, oh yeah, those things suck. And then back to the pet store. All right. You said it was 10 gold. 10 gold for the 10 gold for the
Baby dragon, yeah.
This is
for the
Tedros'
Komodo
final
dragon.
reason.
Baby dragon, that's what I said.
Komodo dragon.
Baby dragon, that's what I said.
Okay, here's 10 gold.
All right.
And I'm
Bring
gonna
the cart back.
Oh yeah, I brought it back. Oh
All right.
yeah, of course.
The two of you can hoist this thing up onto the cart. A Komodo. It's awkward mostly.
Its
like you
wings
can
are
lift it.
huge.
Yeah, they weigh. Like, I just looked it up. They weigh like 175 pounds.
Great. I'm gonna wheel it back to the ship.
All right, yeah,
The
it's
boat,
a
rather.
much heavier this time, but you have like a 20 strength, so you can do it. Monty comes wheeling out with a person-sized lizard just curled up in a cage that just like is just enjoying the sunlight coming through the bars as he wheels it over.
What
the life
is
lesson
that?
is, Montblanc, you have to feed this creature, and I will not be paying
I can
a single
I
gold
can
piece for it.
assume what it eats. If none of you like your pets, now's the time. I'm gonna,
Yule's just cradling that
what the
cage.
heck would I use for Komodo dragon stats?
Oh
Good
my
question. I
God.
will figure that out if it becomes an issue.
All right.
This
But apparently-
is craziness.
Apparently, they eat deer, goats, and pigs.
Yeah, they eat big stuff.
Genuinely,
Dude.
what the fuck?
This. What's a good name for a Komodo dragon?
Oh, we could probably use like alligator stats for it.
Oh
Honestly.
right, yeah.
There's definitely like a medium-sized lizard.
Yeah.
Stat
Oh yeah, it might
block.
just be like base like lizard.
Oh,
we'll look
lizard,
it up.
that's
We'll figure out
right.
stat
Yeah.
blocks for all your stats later
Giant
if it comes
lizard.
up.
Yeah. Princess will look towards
Giant
the
lizard
lady
makes
and be
sense. Large
like,
beast.
It's not large. It's probably medium, but
yeah, it's
We'll just ignore that. We'll just say
Well,
medium.
we'll figure it out. I'll look it up.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is. What am I going to call you? What do you want to be called? Excellent. Tedros, you said.
Can we just go, please?
Yeah,
Like-
Princess is already.
Roger.
This ship.
This is Roger.
Oh my goodness. What have I done to deserve this fate?
You want
Like,
a cat?
You were the one who
You
talked
brought up
about
pets.
negotiating.
I brought up a singular
I got an idea.
singular cat.
Yeah, and this is the culmination of that.
Do not try
Montblanc,
and pin this on me.
Yeah, what's up,
Mon-
Tedros?
I know where you sleep.
Yeah, and this guy's gonna be sleeping with me.
You're just gonna wake up covered in bird shit.
Oh.
Guys, can we go? Please?
Yes.
I would
Press
like
the
to not
recon.
be.
You all ready?
Yep.
I'm
Yes.
ready, yes.
All right.
Actually, this is not
Okay.
Roger. This is Oscar.
Oh, hello, Oscar.
Oh, it's awesome.
Cadence.
Yeah,
Cadence is just like,
OSKAR. Oh fuck.
Why did Monty
Cadence
get
is
to
like,
name
I'm
all of
so
them?
glad I was left out of this.
You
can
weren't.
have the
Here's
cat.
a bird, and he hands the bird
Oh.
over.
Crap. Okay.
Oh, Tedros, that breaks my heart.
Something else could break your heart if you keep it up.
Well, they didn't have any owls, so
Tedros is a one
Because
bird
animals
man.
should be free.
they're gonna be free. I freed him from a guy who doesn't know what animals are.
Oh, sweet.
Anyways,
No,
let's go to
Lila can
this
go
woman's
wherever
house.
she pleases. Been talking about the snake on her head. It's not in the cage.
All right. 1
You'll be
second.
fine, Tedros.
I would like to make a quick detour and let the cat loose on our ship.
Just leave the cat on your ship.
Eat the mice.
What mice?
Exactly. The cat's doing its job.
Okay.
The cat's just
Thank
gone
you.
when we get back.
All right, really quick. All the pets and their names. So we've got Spud the monkey.
Why does Monty get to name all of the pets?
I
You
did.
bought all of them?
I named the monkey, but everyone's free to give the pets their own names. That was just
Yeah,
that was
okay.
just a gag.
You named the monkey, but you don't even want it.
Okay, so we got Spud the monkey, Oscar the Komodo dragon. What was the snake's name?
Lila.
Lila.
Yeah.
Tedros
Lila
just
the
looks
ball
so
python.
upset.
Huh?
Tedros looks so upset.
What's the cat's name?
Well, the cat has to go through a typical Aeorian naming ceremony first.
Ugh.
So
Ah, I see.
the
So,
cat does not
northern,
have.
northern or southern?
Well, I was gonna find a book in the lady's house, and then
Oh, okay.
And
perfect,
before the
alright.
cat's called something of the 5-star chalice.
That is so you're going with the book, so that's a southern Aeorian naming convention.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the Southern Aeorian naming convention.
Yeah, as opposed to a northern is a little bit more complicated. You need more supplies for that.
Yeah, of course, working with what I have here.
Oscar.
Spud is
Well,
a
also-
place. I'll have you know, Spud is a placeholder name, and
Of
once
course.
Yule learns his personality,
Oh,
she'll
good.
choose a name.
All right.
Oscar the Komodo dragon. Oskar.
Oh, I got it. And then Cadence will figure out a name for his new parakeet. All right, so you all can load up onto her little boat here. Very nice, comfortable seating. She sits into a like chaise lounge in the back under the like awning that sticks out, and then a group like 4 like gondola drivers like all take positions like on 2 on either side of the ship and start like once you all get on the ship or the boat. Once you're all on, they like push off from the docks and start pushing along the shore, making their way. It's a little bit of a no, actually, they start making their way along the coast, but then they go into one of the canals under a footbridge that arcs over it, and you can see you're passing by a variety of like businesses and houses and things like that, and you can see that going through the canals, like this place uses canals like streets, so there will be like you can see a bakery that just like basically faces the water, and like has like boats that people like will just get off their boat and go walk right in. Probably has another side on like the land side that you can come at it from, but like from the water there's just like a store, there's like storefronts just like straight up facing the water as though it's a street. And you head through several of the downtown canals until you exit out and kind of come out into this one very large river that runs along Titan's Grave, or kind of through Titan's Grave, splitting into mostly two major pieces. As you get out into the section, you can see that there is exactly one bridge that connects downtown to this next section of town. The name of that bridge, if I can remember correctly, is... I believe it is actually just the East Bridge, given that this is heading into the district of East Bridge, the wealthy side of town, and Montblanc, where you grew up.
Yay.
As you cross over the river, you can see that this entire district is actually set, like as you're looking across the river, downtown and everything you've seen so far has been basically at water level. The entirety of East Bridge is actually set up about 20 feet above the water, with just like sheer stonework embankments that just like rise up completely vertically all the way along its all of its coasts. And instead of seeing like waterways or like where the canals enter, you can see these pretty much like 20-foot tall metal gates set up along the way. And as you come up to one of them, and you can see people standing up on the embankment, and as you come up to one of them, you can hear just like the sound of sloshing water on the inside, and then the gate lowers and the boat enters in to kind of like a little almost like a little chamber. It's like open on top, but like there's stone walls to the left and right of you, another one of those gates in front of, or actually in front of you is just kind of like another stone wall with like a gate at the top, and then the gate rises back up behind you, and you can hear like it locking off, and then water starts to pour down into it from the sides, and the water level begins to rise up until you are up to about until now the water level is even with the land around you, and you can as you come up you can see wide streets and promenades, and you can see other canals at this level too, with very nice boats traveling between them, and just manor houses all over the place with very wide gardens and plenty of room around them. And once you get up to the top and the water level is level with up here, the gate in front of you comes down and you can enter into the canals up here. So it seems that Eastbridge maintains a water level higher than the rest of Titan's Grave in order to make it so you have to go through one of these locks in order to enter or exit the waterways of the district. And the boat makes its way along until eventually you come to a modest for this district manor house that is set on not a huge amount of land. Got some pretty respectable gardens around it. More of a townhouse than anything, but stately. And the boat just kind of like pulls up right in front. There's like a little loop of water right in front, almost like what would be a driveway if it was paved. And it pulls up and just kind of pulls in right in front of, like, into a set of gates. The gates actually like extend into the water, so when they pull open, like they extend all the way down as well. You make your way in and then pull over right in front of the front steps of the house. And she says, "Welcome, all of you, to my humble home."
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Please, come on in. And she'll stand up and, like, as the gondoliers, like, tie off to pylons right in front of the house, she'll step off just as they're lowering a gangplank down, just a pretty short one, and start making her way up the steps to the front doors, where the doors, like, are opened as, like, a couple of manservants just, like, open the doors in anticipation of her arrival. And she gestures for all of you to follow.
I'll bring Oscar.
Was all right?
I'll bring Oscar.
Yeah, she has made no comment on the pets and gestures for all of you to come, so presumably the pets are allowed.
I love this one.
Well, we
All right.
will follow.
Yeah, you can go inside. Very, very nice house. Montblanc, it like looks familiar inside. You're like, I may have been here like once or twice as a child. And you can see as you come into the first main like hall, like entry hall of the place, you can see a portraits lining both sides of the entry hall. Yeah. And you don't see yourself, Montblanc, but you do see every portrait is of it's hard to, for some of them it's hard to tell, but you recognize her eventually. You can see every one of these portraits includes Lady Stanway in them. All of these are of Lady Stanway standing behind a chair with another person sitting down in the chair in front of her, and you can see like she ages throughout the portraits as they go through. Like all of these were painted at different stages of her life. But you do see for one of them, Montblanc, a portrait of her standing behind your mother, looking exactly the same as ever, because since your mother's an elf, she barely ages as compared to everybody else. Lady Stanway is actually, that's like further on the left, and Lady Stanway is like significantly younger looking in that portrait. And your mother is sitting in front of her, and you get the sense that these are all her like political mentees, people that she's mentored to enter into politics throughout her life.
Is this something only like Montblanc would pick up, or is it like kind of like?
You could probably given like kind of like what how she's described, like that she, like that's what she does. You could probably figure like you can kind of get the sense from like how they are, how they're set up, and like there's little plaques under each of them with like their names as well.
There would definitely be a longing look at the picture of his mother.
Well, come on in, everyone. Let's get you set up with some rooms.
Right. Yeah.
She'll just like very subtly, just like while you're standing there staring, she just like slips an arm into like Monty so that you're like escorting her by the elbow.
Okay.
To kind of just like, but like she pulls you away from the picture.
Okay.
And like leads you into the house. It's again very nice, not too ridiculously opulent, but the front is much nicer than the rest of the house. Like she's put all of the effort into like that entry room and like a sitting room past it. But into the like actual living quarters as you get into it, it's a little bit more modest and just like reasonable. She has several guest rooms that she'll bring you up to and show you. They're all nice, but not anything too extravagant. And she can like get you all set up with a guest room. And then she says, once you're all settled, perhaps we can meet in in my upstairs sitting room for a bit of conversation about where things may take you.
Indeed.
All right. And she'll head off and leave you all to your own devices with your pets.
Well,
are there individual rooms, just like a one big room for all of us?
Oh no, there's like a hallway of guest rooms that you can all like take your own.
They all look the same, or
Pretty much, yeah.
Do we want to do heads together powwow, or are we doing a decompress alone thing?
I think I need to decompress after the ridicule I got from my gifts.
What? Prince is like, hello? Like this is the...
Or pawning the gifts off to somebody else.
First of all, I don't think it counts as a gift if you then ask for money for it.
Yep.
It's the thought. I appreciate
Sorry,
it.
I'm used to getting paid for giving gifts to people.
What does that mean? But I do appreciate the
Me
thought.
neither, for some reason.
I am biting my tongue.
All right. Well,
I apologize for snapping at you at the cafe thing. Lots of emotions are running through me right now.
I just wanted to help.
I know.
I'm
That's what
very used to having to be in situations where I'm, at nice fancy dinners with dignitaries. Sister never let me speak, but I've been there, so I just thought maybe I could help.
I just wanted to apologize and get you a present.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that.
Even though the pet store owner said he was a dick. The monkey.
He likes me.
Great.
You're very likable.
Yeah.
Aww.
And you both, seem to have high energy possibly, so that might...
I'm going to teach him how to do tricks.
Excellent. Oscar here,
Oscar looks like he hunts people for sport.
So
Oscar looks hungry.
What are you
Same
going to
here.
do with
We can
something
do
that
it together.
is- Oh, sweet.
I could
I
wolf
am
out
going
and
to
we
find
could
a
both go
library.
hunting.
good friend, Roy.
Library?
I'm finding a library. Goodbye.
Says you're gonna name her cat.
Where's Parmesan?
Oh.
He's right here, says Cadence.
What a wonderful animal.
Cadence,
Yeah.
are you planning on staying with us the whole time that we're in Titan's Grave, or are you going to be making your way off?
Well, that's I said I would help, which
Yeah,
I'm
you
happy
did.
to do. I'm happy to do that. I also just do live here, so I have family I could go and stay with,
And go see him.
or I could stay with you here. I think I might. If you're all doing stuff right now, I could probably just go see my family.
Oh, and what's the address?
Well,
You don't need to share that.
I was also just gonna say where I'm going doesn't really keep track of addresses so much.
Okay, well, family name and where you're going.
Not fancy enough to have a family
Yep,
name.
that's how it works here.
You don't have a last name?
No.
Yeah, that's
What are
also how it works
landmarks near where you're
here.
going?
Don't worry about it.
Good question. I'd have to find. I know my way there, but the landmarks have probably changed by now.
All right. Well, it's just a concern if you did come back and something happened to you.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's
Which
just hard.
general direction are you going?
I'm going. My family is from Dwindale, the area to the south of here. The one might say poor side of town.
Yeah.
So
That's enough direction, Dwindale.
okay. Yeah. Hard to say.
Well,
We'll
say
be able
hello
to
to your
find
family for us.
I will. It's been a little while. House might be. It might be a new house by now. We'll see.
Yeah,
Ah.
that's how it goes.
Yeah, Dwindale is doesn't enjoy the solid grounds that this place and downtown do. So the houses tend to sink.
Ah.
I'd be aware of that then, right?
Actually, yes, Monty would be, mostly because his mother. You would have heard your mother constantly talking about, like. It depends on how much Monty would have paid attention as a kid to this stuff.
There's got to be multiple reasons why he hates the noble lifestyle and how all these poor people have to suffer, right? So
yeah. So your mom also is like one of the biggest things your mom was like was fighting for while you were on the Orchid, was when she was like reaching the pitch of her political endeavors, was trying to basically fix up Dwindale as one of the major things, because it is one of the issues that they face is that basically it's the part of the part of the river delta as the river comes down, where the ground is the wettest, so it's just constantly muddy. So pretty much the reason why when you looked over there the architecture was different and why it was like so much just like quick unpainted wood is because basically you build a house and like depending on where it is and just how lucky you've gotten, you'll get a number of years before the house will eventually sink down into the mud and you'll need to just rebuild another house on top of it, and it just keeps the people of that district constantly having to like spend time and money and resources just building a new house for themselves and new buildings and new businesses and stuff on top of the old ones as they sink down into the mud.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like underground.
Princess would give Clarence like 10 gold.
Clarence?
I don't know how you want. What is
Cadence.
Cadence.
Cadence?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cadence. My bad.
Clarence now.
There you go, Clarence.
Cadence. Well, I'm gonna stick with it. Princess like Clarence. Here,
Hey.
here's the 10 gold for you and your family.
Thank you. That's much appreciated, though my name is Cadence, but I will happily overlook that for 10 gold.
Like in a song.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
we didn't have a proper introduction. My apologies.
Yeah, sorry about that. Kind of just like showed up on the ship.
Cadence.
Yeah.
Whenever you get the chance and you talk to the people who,
Mm-hmm.
tell them to begin soon.
I'm sorry, I don't know what we're actually talking about now.
You know how we talked about certain stuff when I tried to kill you?
Right.
What? I tried to kill him?
It's semantics.
It got better.
No.
It's fine. It was understandable.
Monty, you're not allowed to kill our friends.
I didn't. Also,
Clearly. Yeah.
resistant stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, I'll have to see I'll have to take the temperature. I don't know where we're currently at.
Well, apparently Viktoria is going to be all like schmoozy with dick face.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that though.
We're going to all try.
Well, I'm going to try to be schmoozy with dick face. And then, or I'll just do it on my own. Anyways.
I'll see what the temperature is
Thank
like. They're gonna be happy to mess with this guy to any regard, but I'll see I'll see where we're at, because there's just a general.
Of course.
It's been tough for them, so
I understand, and hopefully with all this, we can get my mother back into a position of power and have her complete what she was trying to do with Dwindale.
That would be appreciated.
Here's 14 gold.
Where did you?
That's from the money that Viktoria gave Monty.
Oh, that's right. She gave you like 20.
Yeah, so here's 14.
Okay, so you gave him I think it was like 10 and 14, so like 24 gold.
24 gold.
Okay,
just
that'll help.
Just for all your services.
Thank you. Okay.
And once we leave, you don't have any obligation to come with us, of course.
I'll do my best. I'll see what I can do.
Cadence.
Yeah.
You're a performer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of anywhere that I could make money around doing performance?
Not around here specifically. Back downtown, maybe. Where I come from, but you won't make much money.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know if you can get hired as entertainment for this big fancy party thing. I don't know if the entertainment list there is booked, but
Oh, that's a good
There
idea.
you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
mm-hmm.
How the fuck am I gonna get in?
Monty, you could be a server.
No.
I mean, I think you all have an invitation at this point.
All right.
Yeah.
And he just gestures at the house you're
I
in.
could also try to woo.
You certainly could.
I think that would
did-
blow your cover a little bit.
Did before.
Can
do it again.
This is I guess a general DM question that we could discuss later. But like, would Princess had like several covers when she would travel around in her like teenage years. Like, would any of like those like performing names like have any like level of like renown? Like someone would know that, recognize that name.
Possibly, but probably not likely, given that if you had to like switch off on the name regularly,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have enough time to build that renown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah.
We can continue on. That was my brief question.
Okay. So yeah, you're all okay. So I think Viktoria was the one that was going to go heading to the library.
Yes.
So you go to the library and you pick a book and then do a traditional Southern Aeorian naming ceremony.
Yes, I do, and I have a book called Basic Witches,
Nice.
and I'm flipping randomly trying to remember how we do this.
I really like that book. My sister has it.
Pick a passage or pick a sentence at random.
Fart.
Okay. The cat's name
Here we go.
is "Do you want advice or do you want to vent?" of the 5-star jealous.
Nice. And you can.
Oh,
and
are you
you,
gonna
and
call
then,
him Do?
Yeah,
Aw.
that's
You
the
can-
short
you-
form.
Yeah. Well, you can put the shortened form as any like combination of words or syllables throughout that whole thing. But yeah.
I like do. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
It was
yeah.
cute.
hmm
I shall let that.
Okay. And yeah, you can all kind of freshen up and get settled into your rooms. Find a place for your pets to be in this place.
Yeah, Yule's gonna get into one of the random guest rooms and, you know, set the monkey down somewhere and make sure that it's okay. I mean, it's probably like in a food coma from eating a whole crab.
Yeah.
but she'll just sort of like rifle through her things and like put some stuff away and like change out of the clothes that she was in and then just go like exploring through the house.
Okay.
Princess already looks immaculate, so she would not bother doing that. Princess would go check on Tedros.
Okay.
Knock on whatever door he went into.
And then just while
Yeah.
we're figuring out where everyone is real quick, Viktoria and Montblanc.
Attempting to, in my room, door locked, letting Oscar out of the cage.
Okay.
We love this.
With just some like dried meat rations.
Okay. Just trying to befriend him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Viktoria was naming the cat. Okay.
And then she'll
Uh,
find the lady when she's done with that.
Okay. So let's go through Princess and Tedros first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come in.
Princess pokes her at him. And Blyla's also there over her shoulder. I wanted to check in on you.
Yeah, sure. Come on in.
Are you okay?
Probably not.
All right. Is it just unfamiliar territory?
There's a lot that's happened in the couple hours since we got off that boat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm processing.
Definitely. I just wanted to check in because it's a lot. And also, I don't know what your standing is with rubbing up next to highbrow people?
You don't have to worry about that. I have had more than my fair share of interacting with them. I will be fine. I just need to get the clothes for it. So, do some odd jobs and see what we can do to get our fineries sorted out.
I do think that will be covered. I don't want to speak for the lady. We are meant to go talk to her, but I do think she has a vested interest in us not looking like shit.
Fair, but fair. I would still at least like to find something to do. I don't necessarily just want to sit around and twiddle my thumbs while you all are doing whatever you're doing. So,
Tedros, I do think you do have a level of charm. You're not completely useless. People like you. You're smart.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about those people. I'm not saying I have that covered, but I have that covered.
All right, well, I just didn't want you to be, I don't know, you have your things together usually, and it's important to look after the people who usually have their shit together as well.
That's fair, and I appreciate that. However, we can probably all turn our eyes towards our favorite gift giver, who's supposed to be keeping a low profile, and has decided to bring an animal his own goddamn size along for a ride. So that's wonderful.
I think he's a little bit manic right now. I think it will pass.
Yes. Very much so. Very, very much so.
Yes, I also enjoyed the gift, though I know not everyone's an animal person. But yes, it will pass.
It's not that I'm not an animal person. Animals are fine. It's just they're better free, is how I feel. And me hanging on to a caged bird is not my style at all.
Valid.
So,
all right. Well, I'll leave you to decompress, and I'm going to go ahead. Unless you have something else to say.
No, I'm okay for now. If you need anything, let me know.
Perhaps later. Not now.
Okay.
All right, and then Princess will do a little salute and leave out the door. And I'm just gonna put this spice on it. Lila will wave their tail. Silly.
Love it.
Nice.
All right. Okay. Let's actually go to Montblanc in the room with Oscar.
Hey there, Oscar. Do you know who you're named after? I thought not. My dad. Yeah. I thought this would be a good way to kind of, keep him around. Anyways, here's some meat.
All right. And you said you let him out of the cage?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me an animal handling check without disadvantage for this one.
6.
Okay. Oscar is going to get feisty.
Yeah.
Would you like to make me an athletics check to try and control Oscar?
He's hefty. He's a hefty boy.
Oh yeah.
16.
Okay. It is a challenge, but yeah, mostly it's the tail is flapping around. You can dive on the tail, wrap yourself around it, and you can see it flapping around, smacking you in the face a few times. That you're able to hold him still and wrestle him down. With that, go ahead and make me another animal handling check.
15.
Okay. As you're kind of wrestling around with him and stuff, you can see he has claws and teeth,
of course,
and everything. But like you kind of just like with like wrestling around with him and stuff, you can tell he's not using the claws and he's not using the teeth. And after a moment of like doing this, you can tell that he is enjoying wrestling around with you.
Cool.
And you've kind of just like through just like keeping him from breaking furniture, have kind of like found your way into an activity that he enjoys, and you've kind of like found a way to tire him out. So like it's a little tiring, and it like requires you to wrestle him. But yeah, you found out that like wrestling is how Oscar likes to play. So you can like
6-foot lizard.
Yep, you can like. Good thing Monty has 20 strength. Yeah, you can like eventually like after you finish wrestling, if you still got the meat, then he'll take it from your hand and eat it. You have taken steps to bonding with Oscar.
All right. Well, that was fun. Thanks, Dad. I mean, Oscar. Yep.
Right.
Well, good night.
It's not time to go to bed yet.
Oh,
what? You were also what Lady Stanway said was basically like, get settled in and then come meet with me and we can kind of talk about what you're doing.
Yeah, Yule probably would have been the first to wander over to her because she just got changed and went. Yeah,
so I was like, you said you wanted to wander and like kind of explore the house a little bit, and you can see that second floor is a little bit more like comfy and like homey as opposed to like fancy and opulent. You can see out the windows that she does have like a pretty nice back garden to sit at. Also from the second floor of her house, like looking out one of the windows to the north, you can see a set of several huge buildings that are primarily just like wrought iron and glass, just like wrought iron framework, but just like primarily just huge giant windows, just 3 of them that stand up pretty tall over the landscape up to the north that you can see. Yeah, and they are very pretty, very like there's a lot of artistry that goes into making them. Looks like they're the very northern end of the district. And there's a nice view of them from one of the hallway windows. And then eventually you can find your way to the upstairs sitting room, which is much more comfortable, less like showy. It's not for this is a place where she like actually relaxes. This is not where she like entertains people. And when you get in there, she's like let her hair down a little bit more. She's wearing just like a nice like she's kind of changed into just more like comfortable house clothes as opposed to just like her fancy going out dress. And as you walk in, she's just kind of sitting there reading a book, and then as you come in, she closes. It's the same book she was reading out on the docks, and she closes it and sets it down on a table and says, I'm very glad to see you found your way here. Is everyone getting settled in well?
Yes, we've all found our rooms and put animals away, and I changed, but I don't know what everybody else is doing.
Well, if you'd like to come and sit with me, I would be happy to have your company. Happy
you
to have all
have
of
a
your company.
lovely home.
Thank you very much. I've had quite some time to decorate.
I saw out the windows there were those large buildings out in the distance. What are those?
Those are one of the more beautiful features in the East Bridge. Those are the Rain and Shine Gardens.
Oh.
They are a. Do you know what? She remembers back to like some of you like not knowing what certain things were back at the cafe, and just says, "Do you know what a park is?"
Yes.
Well, think of it as a park, but with a roof over it. It's a place for the nobles to walk and promenade and be seen without having to worry about the rain. Hence the name. It is a place to enjoy the outdoors, rain or shine.
Where do the nobles go to be entertained?
Well, that's it depends. If they would like to go to see entertainment, many of them, especially the younger nobles, will go into downtown to some of the theaters or perhaps some of the social clubs or things like that. But within the district itself, many of them, it's considered a sign of wealth to become patrons of entertainers, musicians, the like, and provide them with money and supplies, things like that as they go off on their own. But also then part of the deal is they will come and provide entertainment at the estate of a noble so that they can have entertainment within their own home.
Yes, my sister, the great Reverend Skybringer, she says that patrons are the best way to go in the entertainment business, but I've never had one. How does one get one?
Well, one needs to make introductions and find nobles that usually it's sort of a who you know sort of thing. If you know a noble or know an entertainer who is a patron of a noble, then there can be some recommendations made. It depends person to person, but there's no necessarily set way of accomplishing it.
What if I just happen to know that I'm one of the most entertaining entertainers there ever was?
Well, that would certainly help.
Well, thank you for the advice.
Happy to give it. About this time, everyone probably can finish up what they're doing and start making their way into the sitting room, where you can find Yule and your host, Lady Stanway, sitting and chatting. Does everyone make their way over eventually?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You'll also notice that as you make your way over, like there were like servants and people who work at the house around. As you make your way over now, you notice a distinct absence of like house workers around, and so when you all come into the room, she will just lean back in her chair, look right at Monty, and is going to say, "So please do tell me, Sullivan, what are you doing here?"
To right some wrongs.
I had guessed. Would you mind telling me what your thoughts are on how you're planning on righting these wrongs? I understand. I believe I know what wrongs you're speaking of.
An eye for an eye.
Is that it?
Essentially.
You're just going to kill him?
Not before showing proof to everybody of what he actually is.
Good. Then you're not as stupid as I thought you might have become.
No, if he's still in league with the pirates, he should still have the brand somewhere on his body. Unless he got it removed.
Why don't we go back to the beginning and you can tell me what actually happened?
Let me pull up my backstory, because it's a lot to remember.
Yeah. I mean, she would know most of it. It's just like that one event, but...
Well, I'm sure you heard of the mutiny.
Oh, yes. How you led a mutiny, a failed mutiny that Dieter von Stark heroically stopped before you were... only after you were able to kill the captain, however, and escape and abscond with her body.
Yeah. That's what he told everybody, apparently.
Indeed.
We had fallen under tough times during an expedition, and temperatures were getting a little high. Rations, gold was going missing, and we had been attacked a few times by the Scarlet Skin Carvers.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like they knew our route, like down to the very last detail. Like someone on board was telling them. I was doing my nightly patrol. Overheard some of the crew speaking to said mutiny, and that they had given information to the Scarlet Skin Carvers to kind of aid in the takeover. Some of the pirates had assumed positions on the ship as crew and were plotting to kill Vanessa and Captain Vanessa and take the ship for their own. When I went to alert the captain, they weren't too far behind me. I heard people being slaughtered, and before I had time to compose myself, the door was kicked down, and a group of them flooded in. I failed to defend the captain. I killed one of them, but someone I thought was my friend stabbed me, and that was Dieter, and bound the captain in thick chains, and when I was taken to the deck of the ship, the crew who weren't part of the mutiny were being skinned alive and dealt with. Dieter said I should have joined him, but there's no way I'd ever do that. I joined the Navy to honor my father, and that's something my father would never have done. And I don't know if he let me go. I don't know the exact details, but or the reason and how I got away. But the last thing he said to me was that my family's name was going to be dragged through the dirt, and that this was all going to be pinned on me. The last thing I remember was myself and the captain falling into the brine. Dieter said to leave us, would make it to shore, and I drowned and washed up on shore. What I thought was a abandoned island, deserted island, and I washed up on shore with the corpse of, well, not the corpse, with the captain. And my wounds had healed miraculously. The last thing she said to me was to right this wrong.
Well, for the sake of the captain, for the sake of you, and for the sake of your mother, that is something we will have to do. Would you like to see her?
I would, but last time I was here, I think Dieter knew that I did, because he threatened her. And,
how would he have known?
I'm not sure, but
tell me the details. Tell me what happened.
Let's try to find that then. I served with some mercenaries for a time. 2 years ago, this mercenary group I sailed with stopped here in Titan's Grave for a supply run. They ordered me to stay on the ship to avoid the prying eyes of the Navy, just because of what had happened. I couldn't resist the thoughts of seeing if my mother was alright, so under the cover of nightfall I made my way to the family home. I feel like I changed in appearance since I was last here, that I could sneak around unnoticed. snuck in through the back door. She was sitting at the table and told me I shouldn't be here. Tried convincing her that I didn't do anything that they said. She believed me. And that's when Jeter knocked on the door. Standing in the captain's uniform, and I could feel anger bubbling up inside, the anger I've been feeling for quite some time. And I was going to kill him then and there. But then a voice spoke to me and told me patience. A voice that gave me this tattoo. All he said to my mother was that he was making sure she was aware that her murderer of a son was spotted in the city, and that his men were ordered to shoot me dead on sight. And he threatened my mother that if she was lying or aiding me in any way, he'd ensure she hanged.
I have questions.
So do I.
You left the ship, and you went directly to see your mother.
Yeah.
How long was it before he showed up?
I think that's in here. A few minutes. Maybe 10.
Dieter von Stark does not keep his manor within Eastbridge. Dieter von Stark owns a manor on an island. If he was staying in the city, he would have either, if he was anywhere, he would have either been at his manor, or he would have been at Keystone, Fort Keystone, where the Navy is housed. Meaning, if he arrived at your mother's house that quickly, he would have had to have left to follow you just about when you left the ship. Which, I mean, it would have meant you would have had to have received word of your being there before you even left the ship. You stayed out of sight, you said, yes?
As far as I'm aware, I was taught how to stay out of sight.
And the other thing that concerns me, you said he said that you were, his reasoning was you were spotted, yes?
Yeah, said I was spotted in the city.
Something as juicy as the mutineer son of a former noble being spotted in the city would have filled the rumor mill for weeks.
Yeah.
And this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Interesting.
And the Navy and the nobles intermingle quite a bit. So that is not something that would have been kept from my circles. Something strange is happening here. Something unusual. I'm not sure what.
Great.
All that to say, he did... Well, he played nice, more or less. Or he was either threatening you, because he knew you could hear him, but at the very least, he was playing nice. He could have... It seems that he knew you were there. If he did, he could have broken down the door and just marched right in there, arrested and had you killed.
But he was alone.
If his men were aware to shoot you on sight, wouldn't he have brought some of the men with him?
I suppose.
Which means that if he didn't, then he would have come alone.
Fuck.
Which means he likely wanted to keep your arrival in the city a secret. Despite the fact that he knew about it somehow.
Huh. Well.
if I had to guess, I would say he was attempting to scare you off for some reason. If he was telling the truth about everything in that situation, his knowledge of your arrival would have resulted in him breaking down the door, walking in, arresting you, and having you hanged. But instead, he made veiled threats to your mother and encouraged you to leave of your own volition.
Interesting. I got a question for you, actually.
Yes.
Has there been any rumors going around about my supposed inclination to return?
No.
See, that's very interesting.
Is it?
The anger got the better of me a little while ago, and I sent a letter to Dieter von Stark. No name or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I know what you did, and I'm coming for you.
Sullivan, I think perhaps for one reason or another, you represent some sort of a headache for Lord von Stark that he doesn't want to deal with. I think he prefers you stay away, and I think either through inconvenience or fear, he does not want you in the city. But I think also he may be disinclined towards using his normal channels of dealing with that. Again, otherwise, why would he not have had you arrested?
Yeah. Scared the truth might come out? I don't know.
Perhaps. An arrest would mean a trial, would mean evidence, would mean testimony, would mean doubt.
Yeah, but all the people who could verify my claims are dead.
Oh, certainly, yes. I don't know that you would win said trial. I think it would he would make sure that it would go not in your direction, but certain people, enough people, would be put onto his scent, perhaps. Enough people would be given reason to doubt, to start looking at maybe other things he's doing. Now, I'm not saying this is a good outcome for you. I'm saying that what I think is the two of you have a sort of mutually assured destruction.
Yeah, great.
And but what that means is, I think that as long as you are leaving him alone, ostensibly, of course, he may be leaving you alone. You may have more freedom to move than you think.
Yeah, but I don't intend to leave him alone.
Oh, I don't think you do, but...
He threatened my mom.
Oh, absolutely. The man should die.
Of course.
What I'm saying is, I think you have room to prepare for his death before you strike.
Agreed. How much sway does my family's name still have in the courts? Do people, like, how many people still support?
Officially, she leans back in the chair. Officially, none. It has been thoroughly dragged through the mud. Your mother is no longer a noble. She is not allowed to attend courts. Her words are to not be considered by those within the courts. If it is found out that someone had a conversation with her before they go and attend a court and attempt to make any sort of sway or deal or vote, it can be seen as her attempting to influence indirectly. But there are still some who share her views. Her faction, the old faction of 5 years ago, her faction that she called the Sprout faction, since fell apart after her falling into disfavor, but the majority of the members have formed the current Outreach faction. Lady Jones, Lady Tilcott, Lord Sweet, Lord Skid, Lady Veer, in fact, mother of Marietta Veer, the supposed rumored object of Lord von Stark's desire.
No, that's
is also a member of that faction. But I ask again, would you like to see her? Because it would be not at all unusual for an old mentor to invite a former mentee to her home for a bit of tea, away from prying eyes.
That'd be nice.
Would you like me to send an invitation?
Yeah.
I will do so then.
All right.
I'll make sure the two of you have your privacy.
Okay.
Now, I'm very curious about the rest of you. I apologize for Sullivan and I here, or Montblanc, was that the name that you gave?
Montblanc, Montauban of Tiburon.
Rhyming.
We call
charming.
him Monty.
Monty!
Yes. How is it that all of you have come to be helping my godson in this?
Huh?
Your godson?
Well, not officially, but your mother did. It was a conversation at one time that should something ever happen to both your parents, that I would take care of you. No longer relevant, and an agreement from years ago, but an honor that I hold dear to my heart.
But it looks like you're taking care of him now, so
I do my best. But how is it that all of you have come to gain his trust and come to help him in this endeavor? It seems that all of you are taking on quite a bit of risk yourselves.
Well, I met Monty when my circus was destroyed and my family went missing. And he was the only person that was willing to help me clean up the aftermath. And I just knew that he was good. So he offered to help me find my family, and I offered to help him save his.
He looks over at Sully Monty.
Monty.
Yeah. Says, taking after both your parents, even far from home, I see.
Yeah.
And
And
then
the
we
rest of
ran
you?
into these group.
Oh, I see. So you met Yulyanya here first, and then you met your other friend. All of you just met him and are acquainted, just became acquainted to him and are traveled far away to his home to come and help him kill an old crewmate.
Boyfriend.
well, yes. Well, our paths diverged, and it's the same place. We all had our own varying missions, but I don't know. There are converging paths, and I do not believe in coincidence. And I don't know. I feel a sense of kinship with Montblanc, and we cannot go forth and find answers to other larger questions if the questions at home are still itching at the back of Montblanc's mind. And I believe in justice, and there's been a great injustice done to Montblanc and to, I believe, the people of this land.
All right. And she looks to Viktoria and Tedros for their answers.
I have been traveling for a bit away from my own home, and under circumstances, we've found each other together in the same place, same time, dealing with a lot of the same injustices, and personally, it's against my religion to allow evil like this to stand. So,
All right. And she looks to Viktoria last.
Truth be told, I don't really think Monty trusts me, but I think we're getting there. But my sister and I were sent kind of on a diplomatic mission over here from Aor back when we were just dealing with bandits on a train. And some questions have come up now, as well as some overarching themes at play. And I do believe that my knowledge of court and nobility proceedings is of an asset here. And,
Ow.
I'm really just here for, the drama, if I'm being honest.
My own heart. May I ask a question of all of you that occurred to me when I first saw you, and occurs to me more as I listen to you speak?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Are the lot of you adventurers?
Oh no.
He doesn't like that word, and she'll point it at her.
We're certainly on an adventure.
If any of you look over at the book that she's been reading on the table, if you've any of you
the Odyssey,
look over at it. No, it is actually the spine of the book in fairly old and faded gold lettering, but visible enough. Does say the Adventures of Cainro of Aldereth. And Viktoria, as you think back on the library, the words "the Adventures of" preceded many of the titles in that library.
We are not adventurers like you read in your books.
I'm a monster hunter.
Did anyone actually look over at that and notice that of our group? I mean, Yule's not going to be the one that would have.
Victoria would have.
And I would say that Princess.
I was outside the entire time that whole thing occurred, though, so not really much.
It's still on the table right next. She was reading again.
Yeah, I mean, with the guy in the.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Granted, if she was reading it when Yule came in the room, she may have noticed, but probably
she was reading in a way that it wasn't facing you. She was kind of down in her lap, so it's yeah.
Because that would be something Yule would be like, oh my god, I know him.
I think Tedros probably would look at the spine of the book when she says that, and notice. Oh,
did you write this book?
Me? Oh no, no.
What book is it?
Just tales of adventure. It's something that has always fascinated me since I was a child.
Can I see?
So I'll hand it over to you.
Does this say Cainro?
Yes.
This is about Cainro. And not Canro. Cainro? Not Canro? Cainro.
I think so.
We met him.
Yeah.
This book was written.
Apparently. This
book was written nearly 100 years ago.
Yes, and he's still alive. He's trapped. He's in.
It's pre-hag. Yeah.
There was a hag, and he's in a collection, and I vowed to help save him, but we don't know how.
Very sorry to hear that. But then she just looks over all of you again, and she says, "Not like in my storybooks, eh?"
By definition, I would say we are adventurers, despite the fact that some of us may not like.
Yeah.
The title. Words mean things.
Words do mean things, and that the terminology is unfortunate, but I suppose this would very much count as an adventure.
No, an adventure, an odyssey.
Yule's just gonna hold the book next to her chest and be like, when you're done reading this, can I borrow it?
I've read it several times already. Please feel free.
She's just gonna hug it for the rest of the conversation.
She says, well, if you don't like the word adventurers, there is another word that's ascribed usually to people like you.
Mercenaries?
No, I was going to say those who are of strong moral conviction and find themselves using strength to help out others.
Nah.
I think I know what the other word is.
Does it begin with an H?
Perhaps I'll save my judgment and see where things land.
Hotel.
Yeah, it's hotel.
On second thought, I will take adventurer over the other word.
Yeah,
the other one has a lot more
insinuation.
Same.
She just laughs. She's gonna say, well, I believe I have an invitation to go make.
Oh, God.
I will have dinner made for all of you. Most likely she will arrive, if she accepts the invitation, she will be arriving in the morning. So, settle in, have a nice evening, talk, plan, scheme, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Victoria's good at scheming.
Good. You'll need it. But for now, and
Is Victoria good at scheming?
She is now.
I guess I am.
She might
She
not be
stands-
good at like playing out the scheme, but she's good at the scheming part.
I am proficient in performance. Am I?
Are you?
No, but I'm proficient in persuasion, which
There
is
you go.
close
Good
enough.
enough. That's enough.
She's going to stand up and say, this old woman likes to get to bed early, so I am going to go take my rest for the evening. Do what you want with the house, or do what you want within the house. I will trust that you will take good care of it while I'm asleep.
When do the courtship events begin?
Oh, they've already begun. We will have to... That reminds me, if you want to attend, we will have to get all of you some clothes. And as my guests, it is my duty as your host to provide you the local fashion. So we will be taking you out to go get you suitable outfits after Sully has had a chance to meet with his mother.
On that note, would it be acceptable of me to wear something more common of an Aeorian noble rather than...
I would say it would be an excellent idea.
Good to know, because I do have something packed for occasions such as this.
Wonderful.
We get to choose our own outfits when we go?
Absolutely. But more on that in the morning. For now, I'm going to go send an invitation and go to bed. So I will see all of you in the morning.
Good
She
night.
stands up. Good night.
Yeah, I'm gonna go say goodnight to my dad. Good night.
And with that, that is where we're going to end the session for the week, on that weird cliffhanger. So, thank you for joining us, everybody, for another episode as we have finally gotten into the drama of Titan's Grave.
Oh boy.
Thank you for joining us, and we will see you all next